So, ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled daydreams for the special broadcast from across the shimmering surfaced sea, where brass meets barnacle and fate hums along the iron rails of invention. Tonight we take you to the edge of the Neverlands, to the rusting, rising wonder of the waves. Gearford Atoll, a city half drowned, half defiant, and wholly forgotten by the world above. Once a jewel of the Emerald Empire, now a clockwork carcass held together by steam and spite. But look there now, up in the clouds, a ship of sky and brass held aloft by whirling turbines and stitched canvas sails. Her name, the Recompense. Her passengers, a curious collection of troubleshooters, relic hunters, and problem solvers of uncertain reputation. In the belly of the Zeppelin, the cabin sways ever so slightly. Pressure gauges tick in rhythm. Overhead, a crackling tube radio hisses news from around the continent. And in the main observation chamber beneath smoked glassed windows and riveted brass beams, our heroes wait, unaware that the job they've taken is merely the match to a very large powder keg. So buckle your belts and polish your goggles, friends. Gearford awaits. The storm has not yet come, but the gears are turning. The lounge of the Recompense hums with quiet elegance and distant gears. The floor is inlaid with cherry wood, polished to its shine, while the walls curve inward with brass ribbing like the inside of a grand mechanical whale. Soft gaslight scones flicker behind smoked glass shades shaped like lilies, casting warm shadows across velvet-upholstered booths and riveted columns. A phonograph in the corner crackles to life, playing a smooth jazz number. Clarinet and piano swirl like steam on cold glass. The air itself smells of pipe smoke and oiled leather. Overhead, a stained amber glass dome reveals drifting clouds as the ship begins its descent through a silvery mistbank. Below you catch a glimpse of Gearford Atoll, its brass towers glinting in the sunlight, smoke plumes rising like lazy signal flares. Across the room sits a polished brass-trimmed bar, tended by a mechanical bartender with a bow tie painted on its chest plate. A glowing menu board lists options like Tramline Gins, Crimson Skyfire Whiskey, and Clockshot Fizz, served in gear-etched glasses with copper straws. In one corner, an old gaming table with ivory and brass cards has been magnetically locked in place. It's perfect for a quick hand of hazard or poker or cog crash. Nearby, a billiards table with retractable legs gently sway with the motion of the ship. And near the rear of the lounge, tucked beneath a curved observation window, is a relaxation nook, half-circle, lined with velvet cushions and copper reading lamps, stacked high with weathered tomes and adventure journals. A polished rotating carousel holds up maps, travel logs, a few fiction novels, and an old Emerald-era science text. You see a brass plaque above the arch that reads, "The Quiet Coil for Explorers of the Mind." A clockwork steward glides silently through the lounge, offering chilled towers and trays of spiced nuts and chocolate wafers and bite-sized sandwiches. It pauses occasionally to turn towards each of you. Final descent in 8 minutes. So, while we wait for our final descent, we're going to go ahead and go around and do our character introductions. I'd like you to tell us your name, describe what your character looks like, and what they're currently doing on the airship within the lounge as they wait for the final descent. And we are going to start with who's at the top of my screen. Sicily, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
All right, so you see Shenanigan O'Hannigan, also known as Shan, and she is a very slim, very young Genasi woman. And she's in a very fancy looking cerulean coat with all the chains, and she's got gears on her vest, and her hair is a silvery swirl of curls that's held back in a ponytail. It's always kind of moving on an ethereal wind. And she's always got a deck of cards in her hand. She's shuffling them. She's looking around at everybody. She's looking at her party members to see who looks like they're wearing something that might be magical. She's always on the move.
Okay, so would it be safe to say that you're probably closer to the gaming table with the ivory and brass cards?
Definitely.
Okay, perfect. All right. Moving on. Thank you very much, Cicely. Moving on to Steve.
So, Ugg is a goblin, but he's obviously had a few problems because his left arm is basically mechanical, and instead of 2 legs, he has 4 mechanical legs. So he's currently over by the bar trying the fizzy stuff to see what it does.
Okay. And you said he was a goblin?
He is a goblin.
My character hates goblins.
He is a
Oh no.
Perfect.
Steve's like, I've been waiting to kill your character, so this is great.
Not a problem. Wow. Oops, sorry.
As
This
you
is when I
sit-
found out the team planned to kill me. Dave had everybody ready.
Yeah, pretty much. You are the villain. I just haven't told you yet.
That you know how much I would love that attention, dude.
You have a little bit of the clock shot fizz as the bartender kind of looks towards you, polishing a glass in front of you. Go ahead and roll a Constitution saving throw for me.
Boy. Da-da-da-da-da-da. There you go, a 9.
A 9. You swig back the fizz, and as you do, you realize this is quite a potent cocktail. It works on you rather quickly. It might have been the fact that you haven't had anything to eat since the beginning of your voyage, but for the next 2 hours, you suffer from 1 level of exhaustion. Moving on to our next guest. Creative Garden. Would you please go ahead and introduce your character for us?
Sure. So, Birdie is, to all appearances, she looks human. She's actually an Aasimar. She is, has kind of, and bronzy sort of skin, dark hair, curly textured hair. She is wearing, something that looks like maybe, her comfort level seems to be maybe set in the past a little bit, but she's trying to wear clothing that is like whatever the latest fashion is. But you can tell from looking at her that it's a little bit on the budget. She's not going all out. She's not going very extravagant, but she is trying to look presentable according to like whatever the latest fashion would be. You can also see anybody who is here who has any kind of like the technological, like the gadgets, the extra legs. She's very fascinated. She's not going to be rude and you know, like just kind of get down and inspect everything, but she is very curious by all of the new technology. And you can also see that she's a little bit nervous. I think this is probably her first flight. So she's a little bit like, okay, what do I do?
So Birdie's not on the floor poking at Ugg's legs, right? The mechanical legs right now, right?
No, but she's probably looked over in his direction a couple times.
Okay.
with curious eyes.
And so she would probably
Shan
be a
is-
little bit closer to the bar?
I think you said there's like an automaton there.
There is.
I think she's probably like a little bit more curious about something. Is it a sentient creature, or is it more of like a programmed? I think she probably would be more comfortable like showing her curiosity to something that's not like a sentient creature. So if it's an automaton or something that's not really so sentient, she would maybe be a little bit closer to them so that she could like kind of look without being too rude.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Okay.
So actually, there's two automatons that you can see in the room right now. One is the mechanical bartender, and then there is one that's the stewardess that's kind of moving around and offering things like spice nuts, cold towels, that sort of thing. Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Okay, that will be 14.
With a 14, you would note that while neither really have a true sense of sentience to it, there seems to be pre-programmed answers and responses. The mechanical bartender is just that. There's no additional conversation. Usually it's just, from what you've seen, it's order, place the order, and start cleaning something for the most part. But the steward, he is a little bit more of a little bit more geared towards the patrons, no pun intended. So there does seems to be some level of response, but again, you're just noticing that it's more canned lines than anything else. It's not an actual conversation that's being had.
Okay. So I would be really fascinated by the one that's like moving around more, but I also wouldn't want to get in the way of them doing their job. So I think I would probably be hanging out by the bartender, just like watching how the gears work and how they move and how they interact with people.
Okay, perfect. As you continue to watch the bartender, you see the goblin who has also captured your fascination after putting back one of the drinks that the bartender has served, has now started slightly swaying back and forth within his chair. Moving on to our next, Dano, would you please go ahead and introduce your character to us?
All right. You see Reggie Otto sitting at a table with some tools kind of laid out, and he is a half-elf, and he's wearing sort of a white suit underneath, but he has a brown overcoat, and then along his frame of his body, you can see like brass metal structures lining it, and one will go down his arm and attach to a glove that he's wearing he has on both hands, but this is his left hand. He has his right hand up with a screwdriver from the kit, and he's just kind of tightening some of the screws, getting the settings right so that it fits properly and connects to the system that runs down his body.
Okay, fair enough. And how familiar with this technology is Reggie?
Oh, he's not the person that made it. It's actually his sister that made it to augment him because
Fantastic.
he's a barbarian.
Go ahead and make
So
a
he's
sleight
just
of hand check
setting
for
it.
me.
Yeah.
Oh, you said a barbarian?
Yeah, he's a barbarian.
Go ahead and roll dexterity with sleight of hand with disadvantage.
Okay. Shoot. 7.
Okay. As you hold up your arm, twisting the wrist, you seem to have turned it a little too tightly or maybe a little too loosely. It's hard to tell. However, one of the pinky fingers has now popped up and is now extended on a spring and kind of waving back and forth like a popped Jack-in-the-Box.
Okay. Have to fix that somehow.
Moving
Just
on
trying
to
to mess with that.
Sure. Moving on to our next Vorteria, would you please go ahead and introduce your character for us?
In the corner, you'll see blue dragonborn. If you look at her for long enough, you'll see her scales. Just every once in a while, different ones will flash like a lightning storm. She's just sitting there reading a book, and her horns will be flashing like electric lightning, like a Tesla coil.
Cool.
She has a a javelin strapped to her back with the top shaped like a lightning bolt, and she is wearing a wrist sheath with storm clouds and lightning coming from it.
Very, very cool. And you said that Miranda's over by, I'm assuming, the nook where the books and kind of the overall area for rest and relaxation is. Now,
Yes.
is the book that she's reading, is this one of her own, or did she find something on the ship?
She found something on the ship, just anything to pass the time.
Okay. And what is she more interested in? Is she into like travel logs? Is she into history? Is she reading a steamy romance novel? What do you think?
I think that being I think being in this kind of world, she is into a more heavy magic fantasy type, because it is an opposite of where we are. So she's into the dark romantasy type stuff.
Okay. So, but fiction in this case.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. You do find a book called Lust Above Amongst the Waves that tells a tale of a sea princess, a race specific for this area called Korokoro. It is very steamy, especially the pirate prince, who's very, very bulbous in terms of his muscles. He always wears a V-shaped tunic with flowing blonde hair, whose name is, for legal reasons, 100% not Fabio.
So as at the steamier parts, you'll be able to tell the Tesla coil-like electrical sparks around her horns get a little bit faster and sparkier.
Damn. Okay.
So that's when you'll know she's at a good part.
Fair enough. Well, I'm going to leave that one. That one is, I could, but I'm going to leave that one. Moving on to our next Bally.
Hello. Beryl is a silkborn, so she looks somewhat humanoid, but her skin is almost a ruby color, kind of like a carapace. She has a couple spider legs coming out from between her shoulders that are just kind of gently tapping on her chair. She sits by the window and just is pretending to look outside the window with an empty glass next to her, sitting alone, and a strategically placed handkerchief on the ground next to her, and is just occasionally side-eyeing the inner cabin, waiting for someone to notice that she hasn't noticed that her handkerchief is on the floor, and just being wistful and, in general, very delicate, very demure.
Jeez. What's the anti-inspiration that I keep hearing about? All right, in that case, let's go with... Okay.
I had to look up demure.
I know. It's okay.
What does that really mean?
You don't have to self-report. Okay, everyone, I want everyone to go ahead and roll a perception check for me. Don't tell us what the number is, but if you rolled over an 11, you would notice this handkerchief on the ground. If you've rolled over an 18, you would notice Beryl has already noticed that the handkerchief is on the ground and is eyeing someone to potentially come and assist her with it. Don't tell us what it is. Keep it to yourself, and then whatever you decide with those numbers, I'll leave it up to you in a moment.
If you want to further mess her up, you can always say she grabbed an empty glass. It was never an empty one. She's just hoping to get a free drink from someone who notices that maybe she's a little bit thirsty.
Okay, moving on to our next victim. Powers, would you please go ahead and introduce your character for us?
Sure. Aid is at first sight, he appears a little bit dark and brooding, and seems to be sizing folks up around the room. However, once you realize that you're all traveling together and probably part of the same party for some adventure, he warms up a little bit. He looks like a little roguish. He looks like kind of a bad boy. But as you look at it, you'll think he's a little standoffish. But then as he comes to you, there'll be a flash in his eye, and he'll give you like a knowing nod, that type of thing. Wearing a dark black jacket, it's got couple pockets, etc. He's pretty proud of it, and he is at the onset of this particular scene. He did with Beryl, and it's a pleasure to meet you. I've never met one of the Silkborn before, but interesting. And of course, the handkerchief is in Beryl's purse, what have you. Because you don't need, my lady. You deserve plenty of attention. As Beryl looks down, she'll realize that the handkerchief has been picked up and put into her purse without her knowing.
Ooh, good with his fingers, too. Damn. This is exactly what I picture Zac Efron being like in real life.
Oh my, a magician!
Let's hold on the conversation just for a moment so we can get everybody introduced, but we'll come back to this. So we have the handkerchief that has mysteriously made its way back into Beryl's purse. And we'll put a hold on that for 1 second. As we come to our very last victim, Khan, will you go ahead and introduce your character for us?
Sidon is a Triton, a stark contrast to most of the people who are here, seeming to belong to perhaps another civilization, another age. He is a paladin. You can tell that apparently by what he's wearing. It is a heavy armor. It is a faded gold with a symbol of the sun on its chest. He holds a trident, which even as he sits, he leaves on the ground, ready to use at any moment. His hair is such a dark sea green that it seems to be almost black, and his skin matches that of the sea green of the seas. He is likely to be a little standoffish in the moment, looking around, almost disgusted by certain technologies he sees. He is certainly not wielding any mechanical devices beyond his armor. And so yes, he's standoffish and could be slightly disgusted by the amount of technology in the room.
Okay. And where would he be in relation to things? So we've got kind of the music box playing off in the corner. We have the bar that kind of runs the entire length of the lounge. And then closer to the back, there is the reading nook.
I think I would be by the music. Perhaps to drown out any other conversations I might have to endure.
Okay, fair enough. Also, we already established that water is blue, not green, so automatic failure there.
Well, I gotta make a new character then.
Yeah, can you actually just
That was the entire point.
Yeah, can you go ahead and do that for me? Just if you wouldn't mind, just go ahead and create a new character. Well, it's fine. We can move on without that. Okay, so we had, as we set the scene, we have Shen, who is over by the billiards and gaming area, looking to any kind of other individuals who might fancy a game of cards at this point. We have Beryl and Cade, who seem to be sitting close to the bar area at one of the tables, about to spark up a conversation. We have Birdie, who is closer to the bar as well, eyeing up some of the mechanic and ingenuity within the cabin. Reggie, who is also in the bar area, sitting at one of the tables with a finger now fully loose. We have Sidon, who is off in the corner. You can see looking a bit of a scowl on his face, but upon further inspection is slightly tapping one of his web toes to the music. We have Ugg, who is almost fallen off his bar rail seat, and we have Miranda, who is very hot and bothered, or should I say, electrically charged by the smut of the sea that she's reading right now, off in the back corner book. As the recompense continues to move forward, a conversation is struck in the cabin. Cade has somehow managed to get your handkerchief back into your purse or bag without your knowledge, Beryl. You look up to see a dapper, somewhat bad boyish individual in front of you. Very well put together, but also wild at the same time. Pretty much every of my fantasies. Yes, it's basically con is what it's a mixture of con. It's a mixture of con and your husband. So
Irresistible, if I dare say.
I know, and in leather.
What?
I know. I'm glad I'm sitting down too, Con.
Add guy liner, and it's over for everybody.
Oh, that's all.
No.
Yeah, that is in full effect right now. So, this mysterious gentleman has approached your bar and assisted you in your handkerchief needs. How would you like to respond to that, Beryl?
Well, first I would be like, ugh! He actually, somehow cut the slip on me, but I would very quickly school my face and, oh my goodness, a magician! And say it very loudly, so everybody will look. I am, I want the attention. I want people to notice also. my empty glass, maybe. Be like, that is truly amazing. This place is so full of, a talent. Thank you, sir. Such a gentleman.
Oh goodness, baby! Just a nice guy. Yeah. So I figured I'd come to the aid of a lady in distress. Speaking of distress, you notice your glass is empty.
Oh.
I'm gonna wave to the android, whoever the bartender is, and ask him to refill both our glasses as I'll down the rest of mine.
Hell yeah.
Is there a particular drink that you would like to order, or are you just looking for something like a water at this point?
I wouldn't mind one of those clock shot fizzes.
A clock shot fizz. It takes a moment, but as you motion towards the bartender, you watch as his two trumpet-like ears kind of push up a little bit, signaling that he's heard you. Quickly, he begins to wheel himself over towards you, and as he does, he opens up the interior of his torso, and you can see inside. It's basically like a bar rail inside of it. Where he pulls out a few bottles and puts it on the table, as well as reaches in, taking one of the shakers. It doesn't take long for him to create the drink for you, but ends up serving two of the drinks of the clock shot fizzes. I would say go ahead and, Beryl, if you were enjoying this drink along with Cade, I need both of you to go ahead and make Constitution saving throws for me.
Okay. Hey! A 17?
Very nice. And Cade?
Cade is very much enjoying this drink, evidently, because he rolled that. He can't. I don't know if you can see it, but where is it? Whatever. It's the careful cantrip wizard tripping over.
Very good. Very good.
Best roll.
Beryl, you put down the drink, no problem. Something that's clearly within your foray. Something that you're not experiencing for just the first time. Where Cade, maybe it's the youthfulness, maybe it's the altitude, but this drink hits hard. Hits real hard. You suddenly feel the effects almost immediately as you kind of begin to tip back and forward a little bit. You feel a euphoria you haven't felt in quite some time, filled with liquid courage, but an inability to really move any of the rest of your body in sequence. You too have also will suffer exhaustion for 4 hours as opposed to the 2.
Okay. And to the extent I can speak coherently, I'm going to maybe excuse myself and say, please enjoy the rest. Enjoy the rest of the trip. And I'm going to stumble off. So it's not clear that I'm slightly inebriated, even though it probably already is.
Well, go ahead and make your choice. Make a deception check or a performance check for me.
Right.
What would I roll to see it?
13.
A 13. You don't need to roll anything to see it. Sorry, did you roll performance or deception?
It's
Deception. You watch as Cade places a hand on the table, trying to be sly, but you can clearly see he's trying to stabilize himself at this point. As he does, he pushes a little too hard on the table, not knowing that it's not bolted into the ground. You hear a slight as he presses down too hard. The table flips over on its side, sending Cade face down onto the floor.
excellent.
And the spell is lifted. You see,
Yeah, basically.
kind of the oh.
Oh, well,
And
nice.
she'll take another sip of her drink and kind of look around. Is there help that would like help him, or is it all just patrons? Like does he need somebody
He suddenly
to?
goes in.
You can see
Embarrassed.
that the mechanical bartender is just rolling around, but you've observed as well that this is just a mechanical being. It doesn't seem, other than taking drink orders, doesn't really do anything much. However, the steward continues to move around the cockpit, if you will, or lounge, and seems to be offering some assistance beyond just, here's your drink order.
Okay. Well, I will go ahead and make a big show of, oh my! And I will flutter down and attempt to help him up. And be like, oh, it must be the altitude.
Okay. As you do, the steward definitely takes notice of this and immediately begins to make his way over to you. Are you in need of some assistance, madam?
Yes, it appears that our friend here is feeling a bit under the weather and perhaps needs to retire.
Right away, we can assist with that. You watch as he drops one of the cold towels on top of Cade, gives a little bit of a nod, and then continues on to some of the other patrons to assist them with spiced nuts.
Oh, just... All right.
Okay, what is everybody else doing in this moment? Is anybody reacting to what's been happening, or would anybody else like to do anything at this point?
If nobody is playing cards with Shan, she has definitely made her way over to Sidon, and she is way too close to him. She has no sense of personal space. And she's going, oh, aren't you a shiny fellow? What brings you to the skies today?
He'll won't back up or give any ground. He'll just stare down at you as you're right there, and he'll say, I have heard there's a job to do that calls for my talents.
Wonderful, wonderful. It's so good to have you on board. The name is Shenanigan O'Hannigan, at your service, but you can always call me Shan.
That is good to know. And he's very pointedly not asking things about you, just trying to end the conversation.
I will say this, as I forgot to mention it, even though it was in my notes. So in terms of your overall arrival here and why you're on this ship today, each of you have been summoned by telegraph about 3 days ago from a man calling himself Professor Knox Valen. Within the telegraph, it seemed to be very well written, very long-winded, but from the gist of it, you were promised a spot of tea and the potential for coin.
I think I might revise that scenario if it's okay then.
Absolutely.
And I think I think he will say, I think there was a job to do, but he'll then hold out the telegraph and he'll say, I assume you received the same, Shan.
I did. It was very long and winded. I read a little bit of it. It said coin and adventure, and I said, of course I'll come along.
That is all it took to get you here, coin and adventure.
That's all it takes to get me to go anywhere, my friend.
He'll give like a fake smile at that and then kind of look away.
Is Sidon familiar with the ways of flirtation of a wonderful mistress like Shan?
I don't think so. I think he's probably been all about business. I like to imagine he's really serious because he's a younger paladin too, so he's a little bit more about it because he's like, I just started the job, I gotta be extra serious. So I think he's been one-track mind for a long time. So he wouldn't even notice if that's what was happening.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'm sorry, Shan. You don't hear a small tink of heavy armor just above the knee.
So,
All right.
Ugg sort of sitting there at the bar noticing these things. He sees the telegrams that are there. He wanders his way over and goes, "Oh, you guys got telegrams too?"
I think we all did. He'll say as he looks around at everyone. He's really looking now at Burl, who he's been watching with just discontent is a good way to put it. And
No.
is she watching and like, does she have one? And who else might manifestly be like have one of their telegraphs out or whatever?
I'm not telegraphing
Also-
my telegraph. I am a gentle woman who might not need to work.
Yeah. So Ugg sticks out his hand to. I just blanked on your name. Sen or
Sidon.
Sidon.
Yeah, like
Sidon.
Poseidon, just without the
To
PO.
Sidon
I knew it.
Sticks out his left hand to shake it, saying, "Hi, my name's Ugg."
Sidon. And he'll give you like a proper, probably too stern, like too firm of a handshake there.
Okay, so what you're going to get is both a handshake and a joy buzzer. Because the hand has it has actually, it's got full shocking grasp, but it's like he's got it toned down to just like joy buzz.
I love it. And
You're way
Sidon's
too
gonna do.
serious.
Yeah, he's gonna do all he can to maintain his composure, even as he realizes what's happened. So, do I need to make a roll against something, or?
Would you have been watching for something like this? Would you have been?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well then, no. You immediately feel the buzzer hit. Go ahead and make a deception check to try and hold your composure.
All right, here we go. Come on. 12.
With a 12, Ugg, you watch as, looking up towards the larger paladin. You know what's on your hand. You know what you've done. And you eye the best that you possibly can. Surprisingly, the young Triton holds his body physique and his posture almost perfectly. However, as the buzzer goes off, you see a tiny little twitch of his right eye.
Nice control. I like that in a Triton.
Neat trick. He'll say, just with exasperation, I suppose you have more to offer than tricks.
Depends on the day.
Great.
Miranda's been watching this. Miranda's been watching this over her book, and she closes her book, puts it down on the table, gets up and walks over to Ugg and says, points her finger out, little sparks coming from it, goes, would you like to feel a little bit more of a spark?
You are all fired up in that book.
Oh my god. This is
No, because of the lightning. She's got little lightning sparks emanating from her finger.
Perhaps you could try your trick on
tired.
that.
I am a little tired. I could probably use a recharge.
So I'll reach out and touch him on the shoulder and give him a lightning buzz.
Immediately, you feel a little bit of a jolt throughout your system, Ugg. It seems to, Miranda, you watch as the bolt of lightning, the small charge, seems to rush down the parts of Ugg that are mechanical in nature before it kind of disappears and zaps into the floor itself. You watch some of the currents kind of disappear into the floorboard below. The charge seems to have assisted in waking you up a little bit, Ugg. You no longer have exhaustion.
That feels so much better. I may need to do that again at some point in time.
I have been likened to a walking battery.
Well, as you can tell, I have a lot of parts that require power, so...
Okay,
Thank you.
okay, when I said steampunk, I didn't mean that type of steam, okay? We're not playing D&D Orgy today. That's not what we're here to do. We can, if you want.
Steampunk.
Let me just stop the recording or put it on our OnlyFans, and we'll get into this. We'll get deep into this.
I'm already streaming it live on OnlyCons.
Money's just racking up.
Yep.
As flirtation and steam beyond what's coming out of the vents explodes within the room. Birdie, what are you doing at this point as you watch all of this madness and sexuality kind of boil over?
It's the book.
I think I probably would have my attention. So I got a 1 to notice the napkin on the floor. So I don't think I even noticed Beryl exists until she made a noise.
You don't even know there's a floor.
Oh, there's a. Yeah. So I think my attention probably was drawn to Ugg, and I'm just sort of watching this interaction. I'm fascinated by the fact that Miranda seems to have this power in her, and I'm fascinated by the way that Ugg moves. I think I probably still would keep a distance, but I'm actively paying attention. I'm engaging. When he mentioned the telegraph, I nodded along. He probably would have noticed something like that if anybody was looking at me, but I'm mostly just really fascinated by the way that this power works to interact with his legs and his contraptions that he has.
Okay, but you're staying where you are at this point.
I think if there was any kind of an announcement about descending and find a seat, I would have obeyed whatever was told to us. Gotcha. Even if other people are moving around, but if we have that permission to move, I might kind of slowly move a little bit closer. to where they're interacting.
Not fully engaging, but just kind of walking as kind of be a little bit closer than a wallflower at this point. Is that kind of what I'm? Okay.
Yeah.
You begin to kind of slowly approach as you step over a nearly unconscious human on the floor and past a tipped-over table. As you begin to make your way a little bit closer, Miranda and Ugg, as you continue your conversation with Ugg your back towards the rest of the cabin, Miranda, you would notice as this relatively large humanoid-looking individual is starting to approach a little bit closer, albeit cautious at this point. Okay, and with that said, Dano, what are you doing at this point? Your fingers just shot off, so
he's been trying to mess with that, and he actually got a dirty 20 on the handkerchief thing, but he just really was focused on getting that thing, and he didn't want to get involved. But hearing Knox, he'll kind of stand up and say, "Oh, I was summoned for that as well. My name is Reggie Otto." And he'll get up, and as he gets up, I would think it finally pops back into place, not from anything he did. He just moved in the right way that it triggered it, so it's back down.
Just
he's like,
a sheer dumb luck, it just kind of worked on its own.
Yeah, not saying it's secure either. It could pop up again later.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
I would
he
say
walks
that
over.
as you kind of stretch out your arm a little bit and raise it to the rest of the group, you watch as it just kind of slinks back into the finger, and you look at, okay, as you begin to approach the rest. It sounds like you're going to be joining in the conversation with Ugg and Sidon and Miranda and Shen, who has now left the conversation.
Yeah, and he introduced himself so everyone knows his name, Reggie.
Okay. Anything else anybody would like to do before we continue on?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
And
Just
this
make it a
Professor Knox
scene.
just walked in. Is that what I understood?
No, Professor Knox is not. Professor Knox is actually in the Gearford Atoll.
Okay. And that's where we're headed?
That's where you're headed right now. Well, let me tell you all about it, Con. As
Sweet.
the lounge's amber skylight clears as clouds begin to break, revealing your first full view of the Gearford Atoll. Below, the island spreads like a brass and coral blossom. You see strange towers rise from shallow turquoise waters, their domes green with oxidized copper. You can see steam hisses from rust-choked vents along the coastlines, and wide, geared-powered cranes swing lazily around loading docks. You can see more of the similar airships to which you are on, as they drift lazily like whales above the city. You can see crumbling clock towers overtaken by vines, suspended cable trams that glide between districts, and docks bustling with movement. There's mechanical loaders, there's robed engineers, and street urchins sprinting with messages, and closer you descend. The recompense makes one final circle as you feel the turbines begin to shift pitch, before descending towards a massive circular landing pad. As you come closer and closer to the pads, you see a huge painted sign that reads Port G9, Gearford. And then there's a hyphen with the message, Mind the Fog. Lucky for you, I've already rolled on the weather for the day, and it is a wonderful weather. Fog not something you necessarily have to worry about this evening. You hear the steam jets flare as the ship finally touches down with a hiss and a thump. You watch out the windows as gangplanks begin to unfold from the undercarriage like mechanical tongues rolling out. And finally, the steward pipes up once again as it quickly makes its way over to the door. We have arrived. Mind your belongings, watch the gap, and breathe deeply, as it is cleaner here than outside. And with that, the doorways swing open, giving an archway to walk through. Each of you take a moment to gather your things before heading towards the doorway, towards Gearford that awaits. And as the steam disperses and the gangplanks clank into place, you finally take your first step off of the ship. The air outside is warm and a salty breeze laced with the scent of engine oils and blooming sea lilies, a strange concoction for your nostrils. Some of you, this is the first time being in a tropical place like this, and realizing now that you possibly have overdressed for the occasion, but I'm sure there'll be time to change later. Amid the bustles of crates, porters, and mechanical docked carts, one figure stands out amongst the rest. You see a young Korokoro, one of the island's sea folk, humanoid with reef pink skin, with wide sea glass eyes, and hair like deep, dark kelp, twisted into braided coils. He wears a stitched vest made of what looks like sailcloth and buttoned old coins. His feet are bare and calloused from running the brass boardwalks. And you see a glistening scales that glint faintly on his shoulders in the sun. You can see clutched in both hands is a rolled, sealed bronze wax bearing the image of a stylized eye inside of a gear. He continues to look out, and as he sees the patrons now leaving the airship, you watch as a large smile graces his face as he spots each of you and calls out, "Lox's guests! Nox's guests!"
Here.
About time. He said you'd be looking sharp and smelling like sky fuel. You watch as he darts over to you and offers the scroll-like ceremony he doesn't fully understand as he tips his non-existent hat. "Name's Pip, and I'm under strict orders to not get eaten or lost or talk too much, which I'm obviously doing too much of. So if you'd follow me, Professor's got tea waiting. Real tea with biscuits and was it contracts, I think?"
That sounds lovely. Go ahead and lead the way.
Right, Mom. Are you a spider? I'm sorry, that was rude. He turns and gestures towards a nearby lift platform, and you can see it's flanked by 2 gear lamps. Gearford's full of curious things, you know, but you lot, you might be the most curious things I've ever seen. As he kind of sputters and quickly rushes towards the platform, kind of motioning you all to join him.
Step on the platform.
Okay. Who, as he offered the scroll, who would have taken it?
I would absolutely just kind of rush to reach for it.
Okay. Beryl, you receive this bronze wax-sealed scroll. It's up to you if you'd like to read it or not on the platform.
Sidon is really close, just expectantly looking at you, like, ready to find out whatever it is.
Oh dang, she's drinking in the attention. She'll be real precious about it. She'll get through a purse, get a little letter opener, so as not to ruin the
You'll
wax
hear a deep
seal.
sigh. You can feel the air from as long as it moves.
And yeah, very, very gently open it up, and and I will then read what it says out loud.
Okay. As you unscroll the scroll, or unravel the scroll, you begin to read, as it reads, "My esteemed guests, welcome to Gearford. Please indulge my humble hospitality at your earliest convenience. I've secured tea, opportunity, and, should your talents permit, a rather lucrative arrangement. Pip will see you safely to me. Try not to lose him. Signed, Professor Knox Valen." As the lift comes to a halt, bringing you to the lower regions of the city, you step off the platform and begin to follow Tip down a swaying brass stairway. You can see a sun-scorched maze of rusted towers and steaming vents and coral-cracked walkways. Pipes that snake along the undersides of the buildings like metal vines, some leaking vapor in rhythmic hisses. Overhead, you can see gear-driven cable cars rattling across taut wire lines. The streets are narrow but lively. Steam carts buzz past, overloaded with crates of sea glass and scraps and baskets of surprisingly luminous fruits. As vendors shout from canvas-stretched stalls, they offer fried eel, reef eel, or gear-polished trinkets and rust-hued spices. Children with copper goggles chase each other between cast-iron lampposts, while a mechanical street performer plays a whizzing accordion as his tin dog begins yapping in sync. Finally, Pip pipes up once again. So many of you folks don't seem like you're from the lands, the Neverlands, that is. Mostly accounted on your pale white skin, and you dress far too fancy and full for the sideways.
Indeed, I've never been to Neverland. It seems that there's, and I'm gonna kind of eye the shops. It seems there's all sorts of delicacies I've never tried before. Pip.
Okay, shopping episode change. Perfect. I'll just go ahead and write that down.
I don't know if I have enough gold for this.
5 gold. Great.
Well, if you've never been to the Neverlands before, you've picked quite a place to come to. Gearford is not one of its brightest, but one of its oldest for sure. I'm from here, have been my entire life, born from the Tangleways, lower dock regions. You know, the wood's all soft from the salt in the water, but the fish still bite.
Well, I do hope you don't bite, Pip. And I'll just kind of like go a little bit closer. And we shall rely on your expertise of the area.
Immediately, you see the pressure mounting in his face. He's just realized that, oh my God, I have someone relying on me, and this is more than I'm comfortable with at this point. He takes a large gulp. Mm-hmm.
Cade will just be like, he'll put a hand on his shoulder and say, "Don't worry about it. I've been here before. I should be doing good."
I say I've spent most of my years scrambling beneath pylons and diving for scraps. I'm not really used to near royalty like yourselves. I don't think I've ever even been inside an autoporter before. You can see the anxiety now starting to lift throughout his entire body.
When you said royalty, all of her eyes are gonna kind of shift around and try and be like, who? Oh, wait, me?
I was gonna say, meanwhile, Ugg's kind of watching all this. In particular, the reactions and the stuff. Like, he actually rolled a 24 on the handkerchief and hiding thing. So he's like, it's just more like the thinking to the self, going, huh, she's pretty smooth.
I try.
I mean, she's a silk person. Of course she's smooth. You didn't need a 20 for that.
Yeah.
As soon as he mentioned that we were overdressed, Shan said the word aquamarine, and her clothes have shifted into a very piratey looking outfit with lots of belts, and she has used her shift weave, which was my magic item.
Cool.
That is amazing.
Sorry, go ahead, Con.
I'll say that during this, Sidon is starting to tune out as all the small talk occurs, and he's just looking around this entire atoll and looking down towards the reefs you described, and he'll just say, like, just out loud, not caring who hears him or who might be offended, and just says, "Can you imagine how beautiful this place was before the machines?" And he doesn't care what anyone thinks about that statement, as he's just looking around the city, ignoring everyone else, basically.
While everyone would have heard you. Probably the only one who would have cared would have been Pip. He is far too occupied at this point, as his young adolescent brain can't seem to handle the change in attire that he sees from Shan, as he just kind of continues to stare very abruptly towards you, having seen you kind of almost change in front of him, now seeing the belts and things along those lines. Eyes are extremely wide, wider than it had been before.
Then she is going to do a very dramatic bow.
He doesn't know what to do and continues just to stare, as if seeing a pinup girl for the first time in real life. Right. Professor Knox, I need to take you to Professor's office. Yes, there's many wares in the marketplaces that you can go to. I know that the call was quite urgent, and I wouldn't want to leave Professor Knox waiting. But perhaps later I can show you the markets or anywhere else. And he immediately stops looking at you and just continues to stare towards Shan.
Trip, why don't you begin walking towards the professor? That's a great way to start.
Yes, we mustn't tarry.
Walking. That's what we were doing. Walking.
One step is every step closer.
Right.
We'll
yes.
walk together, and she'll hook her arm through his arm and walk with him.
You see, as immediately as you touch him, one of his knees buckles a little bit, but he quickly kind of straightens himself up once again. Hey, walking. Walking.
Let's go, Trip.
You made his voice drop.
It's not the only thing. As he continues forward, now arm in arm with Shan, you continue walking through the marketplaces and some of the stranger, smaller streets. Finally making your way to another large staircase that once again leads upwards towards the higher district, which you've probably gathered at this point. There seems to be a little bit of a difference in terms of wealth when you go to different levels of the city. The lower canals being a little bit poorer, a little bit dingier, where a little bit higher where you had originally arrived within the G9 platform was a little bit fancier, albeit just a docking station at this point. You can now see that the oil stains and scuff marks have now left the buildings. It stayed relatively pristine, as pristine it could be within this older bit of district. However, the gardens continue to remain manicured. There doesn't seem to be reaching vines all around, and the pipes seem to be a bit more organized and polished than the area that you were just in. You walk past one last pipeline that hisses from the pressurized tube. As he continues to lead you up the spiral staircase embedded within a bit of a cliffside. At the top, you emerge onto a platform nestled between two forgotten towers, their facades slightly overtaken by ivy and rust, and you see a collection of metal catwalks that crisscross between the buildings. Ahead stands a grand office front, now purposed for something stranger. You can see a double doors are crafted with riveted oak and polished brass, and adorned in a small etched plaque that reads, Valen and Associates, and underneath, Solutions, Salvage, Supper. You see as two gas lights now flicker to life on either side, probably triggered based on the motion of the soft knock that Pip gives. 2 raps, a pause, and a final rap, as the door opens inward with a soft mechanical sigh. Inside the space is a clockwork sanctum, bookshelves spiraling upward like winding staircases, half-completed schematic drifts on hanging wires from the ceiling. Gears tick in the walls like second heartbeats. You can see the furniture is mismatched, but fine, with plush velvet armchairs combined with a long walnut desk stained with ink and alchemy. Seated at that desk, you see a man, as he adjusts a pair of spectacles that glow faintly with ether light. He doesn't stand to greet you, but raises his head with a wide smile. Ah, right on time. I do love when the gears align. The man behind the desk is tall as he stands to greet you. Neatly combed silvery blonde hair and a crisp navy tailcoat lined with patterned velvet. You see round spectacles shimmer faintly with what seem to be shifting glyphs. Some arcane, some mechanical in nature. Welcome. I'm Professor Knox Valen, though some of my less imaginative rivals prefer that lunatic with the rivets. He smiles like he just told a joke that no one else heard or really get. It's not often...
Sidon looks disappointed at her.
Sorry.
Welcome, my wonderful
Doug
guests.
just looks confused.
Fair. It's not often I extend invitations. Fewer still include scones. But you, dear travelers, happen to represent a unique intersection of timing and skill and opportunity. Pip, if you wouldn't mind gathering the scones and tea for our guests. Pip almost hears him as he continues to kind of side glance over to Shan, until the professor clears his throat. Yes, sir, yes, sir. And you watch him kind of disappear behind a doorway. I'm glad all of you were able to join today. Albeit I thought I had sent out more telegraphs than this. Neither here nor there. It's a pleasure to meet each of you. I'll save the introductions as each of you go around and introduce your name to Professor Knox.
Sidon just says his name.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, let me get to the purpose of your trip here today. As he moves around the desk and gestures towards a table-sized mechanical map, which unfolds with a hiss and flicks to life with glowing ember. You see a projection of the Gearford Atoll, very Iron Man-esque style, but more mechanical in nature, as almost like a pop-up book, 3D, it suddenly begins to build itself out of the map itself. You can see the city's towers and tram lines that are etched in the radiant brass. Off the coast, you see something stirs beneath stylized waves. A vague serpent shape outlined in crimson lines. You stand on the edge of something ancient and modern, something brilliant and possibly catastrophic. He taps a rune on the map, and you see a small schematic that blooms above the sea serpent. Rotating diagrams of gears and boilers and a glowing ethereal core. This, my friends, is what is known as Project Eclipse. It's a dormant relic from a time even the Emerald Empire feared. A construct of unimaginable size designed for war that never came. He looks up, with eyes gleaming, and someone is trying to awaken it. He folds his hands behind his back, and the projection flickers to show a blurred figure running through a tram tunnel, followed by a symbol matching the one etched into the scroll Pip gave you earlier. Unfortunately, not everyone shares my caution. Just 2 nights ago, a thief stole a set of original schematics from a private vault. Blueprints tied directly to the Eclipse's reactivation sequence. They plan to sell them to a buyer whose intentions are, let's just say, militarily ambitious. Now, I don't know who the buyer is yet, but I know where the deal is supposed to happen. Somewhere in the Lower Canal District, near a place charmingly nicknamed the Clanks. Time is of the essence. And if they succeed in selling those plans, it may be the last quiet day this city ever sees. He straightens, and his tone sharpens ever so slightly. I need someone to intercept the thief before the transaction occurs. Recover the schematic. How? I leave the method to your judgment. But do not let them vanish into the hands of someone who sees Project Eclipse not as history, but as an opportunity. Do this for me, and I'll see you all well compensated. Coin, tools, favor, whatever you wish. More importantly, you'll be keeping something very old, very dangerous, very angry, asleep, as it should be. I've
Then I'll
rambled
be
on
off.
long enough. Are there any
Sidon will
questions?
already begin not caring about reward or anything. He has his mission, and he just forgets he's on his own, he's not on his own basically, and begins to almost walk out. But he'll kind of catch himself at the end and turn back to listen for more information and see why the others aren't coming with him. Because he's here not for any like monetary gain.
I heard there were contracts to sign.
That'll turn me around.
Yes, a contract is most important in these type of ventures. I want to ensure that we're all aligned on what's being offered and what must be completed. So if it's something that you're interested in, I'm happy to offer the contracts now.
Do people not keep their word here?
Of sorts. I just feel it's better to have something on paper.
Land people are so odd. As he'll just kind of let it die there.
Do you have paper where you come from?
Dave. I would imagine no. Do we what do we do?
From where you are now, are you talking about where you typically visit on land or directly under the seas?
Directly under the seas. Like, do we etch on seashells? Do we how do we?
So for the most part, you've have a strange way of keeping record of things, where your people have discovered a way to etch words into sea kelp, very similar to Braille.
I don't know if he'd bother explaining. I think he would just say, "No, we do not," and he won't try to even explain how they do it unless asked.
Must
It's
be
these
interesting.
Miranda
things
looks-
in their quills.
Miranda looks around and
Just
says,
reach for
I
the
do
pocket."
believe he's going to lose a little bit of his innocence in this mission.
Nice, really?
Just like in the book.
As a player, I'm like,
Ugga's reaching for the
And
contract.
God
to take a-
forbid if
to look
anybody
at it.
turns that sexual.
Ugg, you reach forward and grasp one of the contracts off of the table.
Start looking at it.
Okay. It is very much a terms and conditions contract where you can see at least 9 columns written in font that can barely be read with the naked eye.
So you'll see him pull his goggles down and tap the side of it and put him into magnifying mode to read the fine print. Meanwhile, he's kind of like he'll take a look at the professor and you'll see his eyes are like, the giant size behind magnifying glasses now. And it's like, really? This much fine print?
Yes, our solicitors would require something of this nature to make sure that all things of checks and balances as you continue to read it over. And it's pure lawyer speak, whereas to they, them, and it just kind of goes on and on and on. It's all in order, I'm happy to have one of my solicitors explain in more detail if it's something that you need.
I think
So
Birdie would definitely request the solicitor to come and explain everything. She's been in a contract of sorts before, and she wants to be sure that this is all on the up and up.
Hell
Okay.
yeah, we got a paralegal with us. Let's go.
Okay, fair enough.
Anne has definitely already signed it. She did not even attempt to read anything. She picked it up and signed it just like that.
Okay, fair enough.
Off to Avernus.
Well, exactly. Just put the soul coin here.
Yep.
Of course, yes. Happy to offer that. As he knocks on the desk, all of a sudden you see two doors that open up directly below the desk as a little tiny automaton now makes its way out. It too has a painted bow tie on its chest piece, albeit it seems to be wearing a mechanical top hat as well. As it kind of moves out on what seems to be rails that lay themselves directly in front. You watch almost like a nesting Russian doll as the top of his hat pops open and an even smaller automaton pops out. As he looks up towards you, Birdie. Yes, I am here for your assistance.
I think that with the help of Ugg to be able to read the contract, I think she would just go back and forth and confirm that she knows what all of the words mean and confirm like consequences of signing, consequences of failing to fulfill the contract and all that sort of thing.
Okay, fair enough. Go ahead and make an intelligence saving throw for me.
Okay. Oh boy.
And if you're getting assistance, you can do that with advantage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely, because, Ugg is reading it too, and for all of his looks, he's an int-based caster.
Okay, so the first one was a 1 and the second one was a 4, so it's going way over her head. She's just trying to be polite and smiling and like, okay, I think I know what this means.
You have
Sidon,
no idea what the
please
contract
see
means.
if she can Sidon see if he detects that, because he's been watching all this.
Sure, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Okay. I have a +0 on that. I didn't notice anything. We're good.
Fair enough. Just go ahead and make a straight intelligence check for me. Or, sorry, intelligence saving throw for me.
Oh, that sucks. 15.
With a 15, well, all of the lawyer's speak included in it gets very jumbled and confusing at times. You have gathered that essentially it's the contract basically confirms your servitude to Professor Knox. Not in a nefarious way in any way, just you are a contractor of this individual. You know that you are being hired to assist in the discovery and the management of Project Eclipse. You can tell that you will be paid handsomely for this based on what your requests are. And with a 15, that's probably all you would gather. That at least the contract, the way that is written, is on the up and up.
Okay. That was a little verbose.
It
but
has seemed.
seems to be
Go ahead.
correct. Sorry?
Well, I mean, Kate has seen contracts like this before, and he's just over and wants to put an X at.
Okay. Is there
We're
anyone
interested
who,
in what.
is there anyone who does not want to sign the contract?
I did want to, before I sign, go ahead and pretend to kind of copy what Ugg is doing and put on my rose-colored glasses and hoping to take a look at the person who wrote the contract more than the contract itself and kind of try and get a read on him.
Okay. Go ahead and make an insight check for me.
24?
The 24, I am going to send you a message.
Okay. And she is also going to be studying the handwriting on this contract.
Okay. Did I just screw up my... I did screw up all of that. Bear with me for 1 second, please. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Reggie just leads the rest of the party. He's like, you think the tiny one's the one that wrote this? As he's like trying to read the contract in front of him because it's so small, the print.
Yeah, I think as long as Ugg has said, like, it's on the up and up or whatever, I would probably accept Ugg's assessment and just go along with whatever you say to do. So if you're signing the contract, I will also sign the contract.
Yeah, so you see the goggles go back to normal and him lift him up and reach for a pen and sign it.
When you're done, you can hand the pen to me and I will sign.
There you go.
Good thing we have a notary. Sidon will go ahead and just look at the guy. Do you swear that there's nothing in here that has nefarious intent?
None whatsoever.
Good. And he'll just do the weird etchings that to everyone else would be strange, but to him are perfectly reasonable for a signature.
Just carving into the page.
Yeah, I like to imagine I have my trident and I'm carving into the wooden desk or whatever it is and just like destroying it, but it still works.
Okay. And Miranda?
Miranda will take her the claw on her pointer finger, and a little bit of energy will come from it, and she'll sign her name with the energy, and it'll look kind of burnt into the paper.
Ooh, cool. Like one of those, like, have you guys seen the experiments, like, on YouTube and stuff, where they, like, clamp down on wood and it sends, like, the electricity through the wood kind of thing, and it burns it?
Yeah, the things that are really good ways to kill yourself.
I was literally just about to say, as soon as the baby comes, I can't wait to get back to my workshop to try that.
Oh no, please.
Yeah, there's
Good luck,
only
Church.
like a 20% chance of dying.
20%, you know?
That's an
80% not
80%
to.
chance of getting really cool looking wood burn.
Well, exactly. 60% of the time, you don't get hurt every time.
Nice.
Exactly.
Okay, I think that's just Beryl who hasn't signed the contract at this point.
Yeah. After kind of taking a look at him and then studying the handwriting and everything, she'll write her name. However, she'll be copying Nov's handwriting. And so, like, any of the little special loops or curves, she is writing her name, but she is writing it in his handwriting.
Okay, go ahead and make a sleight of hand check for me.
There's the low rolls. 13.
Okay.
Or at least she attempted to.
As he gathers the contracts up, he kind of aligns them by hitting the papers on the desk itself. Very good. All are in order. Now, I can tell you, there are 2 locations I can suggest with you starting. The first being the Deep Lock Vault. It's not too far from here. It's where the schematic was stolen from. Pip will be happy to take you there. The second location is the Sprocket Row Night Bazaar, a nearby night market. There may have been someone there that's seen something the night of the heist, if you will. I'm happy to answer any questions in regards to the stolen schematic, or what I do know of the situation, if there's any questions.
How did you learn that the
was
schematic was
printed on
taken?
paper? Yeah.
Right.
Sorry.
Project Eclipse is something I've been interested in for quite some time now. It seems that a construct of that nature would have dastardly effects of not only Gearford Atoll, but all of the Neverlands. So, of course, naturally, I would keep my ear to the ground and eyes to the skies for anything related to it.
What are your
Have you
plans
seen
with
these
Project
schematics
Eclipse
before?
once it's found?
Well, as I've already said, to keep it asleep. A leviathan like this could destroy not only the Neverlands, but perhaps some of the mainlands as well. Both west and east.
Okay. So Ugg was asking whether he has seen the schematics before and what exactly we're looking for. Is it a scroll? Is it a cube? Or, just a description of what the...
The schematic itself is etched on brass plaques, very similar to any of the other schematics I'm aware of that relate to Project Eclipse.
And how many of these plaques are there?
That we are aware of, 9. But it is said that some of the schematics have been lost to time, their locations unknown.
And do you know how many were stolen?
Just the one.
So
And you
this
said
pursuit-
Pip was going to guide us. Does he know how to take care of himself, or do we have to babysit?
Pip, for the most part, how do I say this most elegantly? Pip is not fond of danger or of trouble of any kind. I remember watching once as a sprocket backfired, and he hid under a table for an hour.
Do we have to take him?
Well, unless you can find the vault and the market yourselves, I would suggest.
Deep sigh. Accepts it.
No, deep
Keep-
vault, or deep lock.
How
Like the
important is it that Pip comes back to you?
I've taken a fondness to the young boy, but
market.
urchins are urchins.
We can keep him behind the heavily armored ones.
I will protect him. I don't like the way he said that.
At that, yeah, Shan is giving him dagger eyes when he said urchins are urchins.
We'll adopt him.
He'll be okay.
I'm sorry, you there, the quiet one, as he points towards you, Bertie. Was there something that you wanted to ask?
Yes. You said that there are multiple schematics, but only one has been taken. Does this mean that potentially this could be for naught? If we find the schematics, but someone else has one of the other ones? Or do they all have to work together?
The schematic is one of the most important in the project overall. It described the activation sequence needed. So while
Okay, so the other...
While the others talk towards a bit of the functionality, some may argue that of the known schematics, this is by far the most important.
How big is this plaque?
Enough for one person to steal and hide.
I think we can handle carrying it.
I just want to make sure we get the right one.
Right, it doesn't seem there's any more questions. As he says this, Pip now walks in carrying a tray that's filled with teas and scones. Not now, Pip. I have another job for you. Yes, Professor. As he puts the tray down on a side table. I'd like you to escort our guests. They take them wherever they need to within the atoll. More specifically, I'd like them to visit the Deep Lock and the Sprocket Bazaar. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right away, sir. I'm at your disposal, as he tips towards all of you.
A bit first, and I'll kind of motion to the tray. If he's already walking over here, he might as well bring us the drinks.
Oh, yes, ma'am. As he grabs the tray and rushes over to you and offers the tea, the small cup of tea to each of you. Scone?
Miranda's going to take some.
Yeah, you're going to see Og take about, if there's more than enough for, like more than one for everybody, he's going to take more than his share, 4 or 5, and pop them into a compartment in his base.
Okay. As you stuff scones into your nether region, they seem to be, lucky for you, not jam-filled.
Miranda's going to hold her scone.
Gears. Jam, gears, get it, Vorteria? Do you get it? It's a joke about mechanics!
Miranda's going to hold her scone in her hand and give it a little toasting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, you're going to see him drinking the tea with his pinky out.
Okay, fair enough.
When in doubt.
Sidon is just holding his and not doing anything with it.
Okay.
Artie's going to recognize this as a formality that's like, we have to go through this process. This is something that seems very familiar to her, so she will just take a couple of sips. She's not really that interested in hot tea, but she'll take a couple of sips to be polite, and she feels like it's something that is supposed to be done in order to like formalize this contract that we've just signed.
Okay. More ceremonial from your perspective, or thinking this is ritualistic almost.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
While everybody's having tea and scones, can I make some kind of check to see if there's anything that looks interesting, magical, or related to what we're doing on his desk?
Magical or interesting?
I know.
I'll give you one of these 3 options. You can make a history check, an investigation check, or an arcana check.
Okay, I would like to make an investigation check.
Okay.
So a solid 0.
Oh, you cut out a little bit there for me, Cicely. What'd you say?
Sorry, that is a 0 because I rolled a nat 1 minus 1.
Okay, fantastic. As you look at the desk, you can see things there.
Nice.
That's fair. She's definitely too distracted by the possibility that any of it could be magical and any of it could be interesting.
As you kind of stare down towards the desk, you watch as Pip slowly comes into view. Is there something in particular that the Mrs. Would like? More scone?
I would love to have a scone, Pip. Thank you. She'll take a scone.
You can have more if you want. It's yeah.
I believe he said time was of the essence.
Right. I puts the tray down. Well, after you, and he's clearly only talking to Shan.
We can't go after you. We have to go.
Yes, Pip, if you'll escort our esteemed guests out to whatever location they choose to. He nods his head, puts the tray down, and motions towards the door.
I will quietly say to Pip, a gentleman opens the door for the lady.
Immediately, his face goes a dark pink at this point as he rushes forward, eyes wide, as he bursts through the doors and bows, head completely down, almost staring at the ground on a perfect 90-degree angle, as he once again holds his hand up a little bit higher than his body itself and is motioning outward.
I'm going to slip through the door just in case he closes it right after Shan. I know what's up.
So Hug goes, good scones. Looks at the tray, walks past the tray, scoops basically all the rest and stuffs them into his compartment as well.
Man's me
Roast
filled with
bags.
scones.
Yep.
Now
Okay.
He's a
encumbered.
goblin. He's always hungry.
Not wrong. Not wrong. Nox bids you all adieu and best of luck on your mission as you all exit back into the great wide open of the Gearford Atoll. Pip looks to you all. Where are we going first?
Yes, are we going to the Sprocket Row Night Bazaar, or are we going to the Deep Locks?
Does it make
Burn
more
the
sense to
ball
wait for night to go to the night bazaar?
That's smart.
I mean,
An
this is
astute
only
observation.
Yep.
All right.
So yeah, I think we
I'd
should go
like
to
to
where
go and
it's
look to
stolen
see.
first.
Yeah. See if there's anything that identifies who we're looking for.
Pip, as we travel, I'm going to need you to stay within 10 feet of me. Can you do that?
Yes. Why?
We need you for now.
Right. I will be of the utmost
Sidon,
service. I will be your squire. Ha.
That will do.
if Sidon has said this, Shan is going to loop arms with both of them, or at least try to. She's going to try to loop arms and be the connection between them.
Sidon will move like a statue. He's not gonna like pull away, but he's just like. I want to use many
I will.
descriptives, but they're all gonna go bad. I'm like, okay, he stands rigid. No, that's gonna get used against me. He stands erect. Nope, that'll be. I was like, okay, I give up. So yeah, he
Right,
just goes
we're in
with
only
it.
trippers.
As you walk
Yeah.
ribbedly in arm in arm with Shan,
Nice.
you feel a slight tug on the side of Shan, as you kind of glance over, only to see Pip's right knee buckle once again as soon as Shan links arms with him. Continuing forward through the coralled walkways, you eventually stop on a facility that looks more akin to a bank than the rest of the towers itself. A large, might I say massive, vault door guards the entrance. As two guards, both constructs, stand out front. As soon as you begin to approach, one holds up its hand. Halt. Define your purpose. Pip
I don't
kind of
speak to them.
Pip slinks away and looks to any of you who would like to respond first, if there's any.
I'll walk
Yeah.
up and I'll just explain that we've been sent by. I don't know if I would say who it is that sent us, but I would start with saying that we've been sent to investigate the vault.
Okay. Go ahead and make a persuasion check for me.
Oh, jeez, I dropped a dice. 18 plus 6 is 24, if I can do math.
More than enough. The guards
Yes.
immediately understand, knowing what's happened here. They've seen quite a few investigators come through, more officials of the island. However, hearing your story and seeing you with Pip is enough validation that they need. Suddenly, the door hisses as it begins parting like pages of a book, almost. You feel a wave of cool, dry air that rolls over you. And you step into a narrow corridor lined with geometric brasswork all over. You see that the walls pulse faintly with like a blue energetic vein throughout it. Beneath you, the floor begins to hum softly, powered by arcane tubes somewhere deep below. At the corridor's end stands a grand security door, another massive circular vault inlaid with rotating dials and etched sigils. Its surface is polished like a mirror, but marred by thin lines where the locking rings have been tampered with, from what you can see. Dozens of tiny lenses protrude from the doorframe, their eyes inert, seemingly watching nothing. And as you approach, with a sharp click, the door begins to roll open. As you look inside, the vault chamber is domed and symmetrical, its walls ringed with glass containment tubes. Each tube clearly designed to hold something precious. Some are scrolls, some are schematics, maybe blueprints, prototypes. However, there's one that sits empty. The dome itself that covers it, or tube, the dome of the tube, has been shattered. You can see its thick glass spiderwebbed and edged blackened by scorching. You can see the floor below is flecked with soot and melted metal and oily footprints. And suspended in the middle of a chamber is a low hovering table built from brass and obsidian. On its surface rests a fractured hologram of what was once a complex design. It's long and serpentine and skeletal and glowing with an ethereal core at its heart. All that remains now is a jagged silhouette and flickering word of eclipse. There's no one else in the vault at this point. You're free to start your investigation how you choose.
Okay.
Anybody here do investigation checks?
I
I
just
do
gonna
have a
take a look at the-
question.
Sure.
Because you said soot and that sort of caught my attention. Would I be able to know if it was soot in the sense of exhaust, or like was there a fire here?
You can go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
I'm glad we have a big brain today because
Yes.
That is a nat 20.
Okay.
oh, let's go.
The biggest of brains.
With a natural 20, you can see that it definitely seems to be scorched. You can see that there was probably some type of mechanism here that was used to burn part of the exterior of the tubing that held the schematic that you were in. You also note something different on the soot, that the footprints lead outwards, out towards the door. Yes, there's soot from whatever device that they were using, but you also note that there seems to be oil smeared within it as well.
I would
Particularly-
relay what I noticed. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I would relay that to anybody who knows technology. I'd be like, this is what I can see, but I don't know anything about the technology that might have done this.
So, Ugg will take a look at it. He'll take a look at the oil and try to figure out whether this was like an accelerant or whether it was something else, as well as the stuff.
I will say, adding on to the natural 20, because it does have your attention now, as you bend down, Ugg, and examine the area around the base of the pedestal that held the schematic, you find a small burnt-out spark tab that seems to be lying on the floor. It looks like what you would know is a disposable ignition chip that's typically used in portable cutting tools. This is mainly used for maintenance by some crews. You've seen it before, whether working with airships, working with trains, but also working with cable cars.
Okay. It's so would relay that as to the where it's commonly used. Said it is used elsewhere, and he reaches into one of his compartments and has.
You're going to tell us that you found that?
Yes.
Okay. Kate will look it over.
And yeah. Can I tell, like, with a history check or something, if I know what type it is?
Sure. You can. God, I wish there
Like,
was
have I
more of
actually
like. I
encountered
wish
this
there was like a mechanical check, but there's not really anything aside from investigation.
Yeah, I was
Sure.
I was kind of
Maybe
looking at it
Arcana?
as either sort of investigation or the
Arcana.
history of having used stuff before.
Yeah. I would tend to
Maybe it's
agree.
investigation. I would have an idea. If it's not, I probably.
It is very. It's not arcane per se. It is mechanical in nature. So I would say, yeah. If that's what your intent is, you go ahead and give me a history check.
Okay. Let's try and keep it in.
Can I cast guidance on him?
Sure. Give a little butt slap.
What do I
Go get
Four?
him, Tiger.
What do I get with guidance?
Just
You
an
get a
extra
plus
D4.
4. Yeah. Or a
Extra D4?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a 4. Plus 14 plus history is plus 8, so that's 22. 26.
With a 26, goddamn, level 5 already. Because of the size of the chip, you would know that it's those that are used for airship or actual trains are much larger. It's not like a pocket device. It's still handheld to a certain extent, but not necessarily something that you could just slip into your pocket very easily, something a thief would probably need. However, those that work on cable cars, given that they're vastly smaller, seems to be leading towards that in terms of if you had to make a guess of what this particular chip was used with.
Okay. And just the chip is now like it's a one-shot chip. It's not useful anymore.
Yeah, this one is it's burnt out at this point. So the spark tab is no longer usable.
Okay.
Actually used these before.
Yeah. So this. Yeah. So again, relaying that part stuff. So that's an interesting thing. It's smaller than it's on the small stuff. So yeah, that's
Possibly a
something
cable.
of
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Perhaps our thief was involved in transportation, really cable cars. May have used that to the way of escape or travel.
yeah. So, are we
Is
looking
there-
around at other things in there?
You're welcome to.
Was there a cable car station close to where did we like pass a cable car station as we came to the vault?
You wouldn't have seen a nearby cable car station per se, but you've seen many lines that that run the entire gambit of the island, and seen a few brass rail cars that pass above. Yeah.
Okay, so is anybody looking at the table, or is I going to now wander over towards that and see what the hologram thing is?
Would we have noticed that a cable car that would have passed directly above this?
Upon first entry, I don't think you would have been looking for it necessarily. So it wasn't apparent. It isn't something that stood out, but definitely might be something you want to check on the way out.
And also just looking up in general, because there's only footprints leaving, correct? There's no footprints coming in.
Correct.
Is there anything on the ceiling?
At first glance, there doesn't seem to be anything in particular. There's no crack marks or giant holes or anything along those lines, but I'll get you to make an investigation check for me.
12?
A 12, you continue to stare upwards. You can tell that there wasn't a forced entry per se.
I'd like to do an Arcana check to see if there was any spells or sorcery that assisted with any of this.
Sure, go ahead and make an Arcana check for me.
13.
A 13 is just what you were looking for. You can tell that there were recently the remnants of 2 spells that were potentially cast here. Number 1 was there seemed to have been a knock spell that was cast on the back of the doorway. You can also tell that where difficult, as it's not necessarily a known spell, there seems to be a hint of teleportation magic in the air as well.
Seems like whoever came in might have teleported in and then let themselves out with a knock spell, unlocking the door with a knock spell. Combine that with the cable car stuff. If a cable car ran directly above, they could have teleported from the cable car into here and then left with the knock spell outside the front.
Could be, or could be a cable car worker.
I mean, they
But on
just stole
completely
the
lost.
equipment from the cable car place, too. Reggie isn't dumb, he's average intelligence, by the way.
But we need to find out
Is it?
where this
Is
thief
there no
has.
anti-magic around here? Oh, sorry.
You would assume, Beryl, that some of the devices within the vault are magic itself. So an anti-magic field may have an adverse effect on some of their properties.
Okay.
Can't have anti-magic when you're storing magic stuff.
Was this the only item touched?
Looking around, you don't see any other of the vault items being disturbed in any way. But go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
A14.
With a 14, you kind of go one by one. And there doesn't seem to be anything else broken. However, one of the pedestals have a strange dent in the side of it. Almost like... And the pedestal being closer to the doorway. It seems like something large and metallic made a dent and a small scratch in the pedestal, albeit the contents that sits on top of it is not disturbed in any way.
Like somebody may have bumped into this pedestal on the way out.
Reggie will go over there and try to see if he can do anything to the pedestal to cause the same kind of mark with his slight enhancements.
Sure. As you walk over to the pedestal, taking a look at it, there's the dent and then a strange scratch in it, where you're not able to mimic it in any way. You would assume that something sharp and metallic either brushed by it or hit it in some way. Hard to tell.
Looks like something did hit it here. He'll communicate, but I'm not sure what it was.
Maybe whoever it is had part of a metallic body?
It would have to probably be a spellcaster. So I to
Well, it could be a group, too.
How many sets of footprints are we seeing?
Yeah, did you guys check at look at the footprints, see how many there were?
Not yet. That's what I was just about to ask.
Whoever wants, go ahead and make an investigation check over by the pillar that Reggie's at right now.
I'd recommend someone else.
Okay. What about the footprints closer to the ones that were in the soot and stuff?
There's only one, and they seem to be humanoid.
Okay. So just one print.
One set of prints, yeah.
Oh, one set of prints. Okay.
I mean, I can do it, but it's going to be a straight roll.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
That's a 3.
There's a scratched pillar. Boy, howdy, there's a scratched pillar.
It's just like...
Thank you for letting us know about that.
Just trying to lining up his stuff to see how it looks with his gauntlet type glove.
So I guess wandering over to following the footprints. So I'm assuming that they go right past the pillar. Is that a?
They do.
So he'll then take a look at what's there as well.
Okay. You also see the scratched pillar. And if you want to do a little bit closer of a look in that general area, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Okay. He'll flip down his goggles again and take a look and... Oh yeah, that's not going to help. That's a 2 plus a 5 is 7, so nope.
Definitely, Reggie was right. There is a bent, scratched pillar here.
That's a good scratch.
They could have hit it with the tablet, too.
Possibly.
It'll take some strength.
Does it matter?
Might not matter at all. Just wondering if there's a construct involved.
So we're looking for someone who either is strong enough to dent it or big and bulky enough to dent something like this.
Maybe a mechanical arm?
Hug looks at his arm going, you guys keep describing me. I'm not happy about that.
Could have been enhanced in some way.
But I was.
Don't worry, you got 4 feet.
Yeah.
You got 4 feet.
You're right. But it's like finding nothing of interest there. He goes back to look at you said there was like a flickering hologram or like something else.
On the table, you can see what looks to be a flickering hologram of a strange serpentine-like construct.
Does it make any sense to me? Or?
Make a history check.
Leviathan. This Leviathan was a serpentine creature. Correct?
Yeah, so I think this would actually be the first time Sidon pays attention. Would Sidon be able to recognize the form of the creature as something he's seen by chance in the seas, or would have heard about in stories?
The overall form you would have probably heard of before, of gargantuan sea monsters, sea serpents, actually. Never anything mechanical, though. This is new. Well, new to you guys.
Okay, so I rolled 23 on history.
A 23.
It's the one thing I'm good at.
As you look over the design, that the holographic design, it bears a striking resemblance to something that you've studied in your past, being an inventor of sorts, if you will. While not of the same make per se, or the same creator, this general engineering design reminds you very much of a very ancient ship known as the Nautilus.
Interesting. Can I see what's triggering the hologram?
Yeah.
What's triggering the hologram?
Like, is there something on the desk or the table, or is it just there?
There's a small base underneath it that you would presume is basically projecting this hologram.
Okay.
And does this image resemble the sea serpent thing that we saw on the map in the professor's office?
The image in the professor's office was very much a rough version of a sea serpent. This has a lot more detail in terms of, its shell, its casings, the actual engineering behind it, where the one in the professor's office was more an indicator, if anything.
Is there any magical or mechanical surveillance equipment in there?
You did see the eyes that around the frame of the doorway, but all of the eyes seem to be staring off into the distance. They seem to have been deactivated with the knock spell.
And does there seem to be any kind of deterrent on the other canisters to keep you from just accessing them?
Yep. Could have investigated that.
Go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
Yeah, I need to read that.
Oh, sorry, you cut out there, Powers. What'd you roll?
Oh, I got a 6.
A 6. It's not apparent
I don't know.
what, if any, there is a deterrent there. But it's probably a decent assumption.
If the eyes were deactivated with the knock spell, then what I said probably happened in reverse. They came in with the knock spell and then teleported out.
Oh no, we saw footprints going out. Right?
Were the footprints going out, or what direction were the footprints going?
The footprints were going outward.
deactivated so no one can see who was leaving.
So if the eyes were deactivated by the knock spell, and they got out by using the knock spell, then the eyes may have caught something before they were deactivated. How do we access the eyes? What the eyes caught?
Aren't they all facing out?
Yeah, so the eyes were facing the corridor that led you into the vault itself.
Okay. So they were deactivated from seeing the person coming out of the vault.
If your theory is correct and someone used the knock spell to leave, then the eyes would have been deactivated when the door was unlocked.
Dave has already accidentally bumped into one of these other canisters. Happens. By accident.
How tall are the ceilings in here?
They're pretty high up. I would guess that the domed ceiling is probably 20 to 30 feet above you.
Okay. Like Ugg wants to take a look at the ceiling to see if there's any concealed holes or things like that they may have come in that way.
So Beryl did look at the ceiling already, and it had a pretty decent investigation check to note that there wasn't anything afoul from the ceiling.
Okay, I wasn't sure whether
we heard teleportation magic was in the air.
So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say that based on the roll that Beryl had, there's really not any further information from the ceiling.
Going by the distance in between the footsteps, can we do a general estimate of the height of the person?
Sure, probably a rather small individual.
Sidon looks at Ugg after all the different pieces of evidence kind of fit Ugg, but he's not going to say anything. He's going to...
You do realize we were both on the airship at the same time because Ugg catches him looking at him.
He'll quickly look away.
Also, Ugg has 4 mechanical legs.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a trick.
Sidon squints at the legs. He's wondering if they're real, or if it's just to throw us off.
Miranda looks over at Pip just to check for any mechanical arms.
Pip has no mechanical sense to him whatsoever. He is a poor street urchin boy who is fondly looking at his crush.
Aww.
So,
I have been asking him questions nonstop for this whole time we've been in here, just about the city, about himself, not really on task.
Pip has been sweating, looking fondly at his crush.
Yeah, and then there's it's that type of talking too.
I'm just taking one more look at the hologram, trying to figure out if there's anything that he can pry loose to take the hologram with him and stuff in his pocket.
You're gonna try and steal the hologram?
Well, I don't know. It's like, is it supposed to be a removable compartment or thing, or is this just a general? He's trying to figure out if this is a permanent display or if this is something that essentially, like, it's like a library. You know.
No, it's not. It's not attached. Yeah, no, it's not attached to the table.
Like, I just try to figure out how the hologram is generated and where the generator came from.
Sure.
Is it something that's pocketable?
I mean, I wouldn't say you could fit it in a pocket, but in a bag or a compartment, I'm sure you'd be able to. The basin itself it's not a massive hologram. It's kind of like I would say at most the base is about 8 inches by about 6 inches. It's a small display that exhibits the hologram that floats above it. It's not Leviathan in nature. It's more just it's like a scaled down model of a hologram of this thing.
The footprints, are they more of a longer, wider footprint of a man, or a kind of a shorter, thinner footstep of a woman?
The footprints themselves are definitely wider, but more wide than a humanoid per se. It's the same shape as a human foot, but very wide.
Short
Almost
clown
like
foot.
if clowns' feet actually fit inside of their shoes, it'd be like that.
Would anybody know if cable car repairs have anything that would cause that scratch? Like like a repair tool, like one of the larger ones. Because if it's not necessarily a mechanical, like a person with a mechanical arm, but possibly just the tool that they used.
I
could tell you that.
From what you've been able to gather so far, it's hard to distinguish if this was done by a tool or something else. I mean, to determine what caused a scratch like this, a dent and a scratch, it could be a number of things that did that.
Okay.
I mean, you can try.
So it's definitely
you can
like
try
a
and roll
knot.
you can try and roll a history check, but like a DC for something like that would be like a 25 to try and determine what exactly it was.
For me, it was, is this even a possible thing, or is cable car repair kind of like how it is today, where there's no large machines really, and so it's like, no, that's not a thing. I just wanted to see if that's something to think about, or if I needed to just forget it.
I mean, this is old-timey, wimey stuff to a certain extent. So it's bulky mechanical things in nature. There's some nuanced, smaller kind of gears, spriggets, and sockets and things along those lines. But to generally look at some kind of accident that would have caused something like this, it would be very difficult to be like, oh yeah, that was a hammer that did that versus a screwdriver. It's just kind of like it's broken somehow, but with what it was done, no idea. But
Now, we could also look at it this way. Going by the footprints, big feet, but a smaller stride, so a shorter person or humanoid. But also, the smash has oil around it. The mechanical pieces, so it could have been a mechanical arm that may have gotten partially broken in the smash, and while going past the thing, with it being broken a little, may have twitched out and hit the column. So even though it is a cable car piece, it may have the arm may have used cable car pieces in its construction.
Oh, okay. So really what we need to do is try and talk to the witness then. Because if they've witnessed a person with like a mech arm, then this is gonna cut some stuff down.
And if
Nice.
there is a person with that kind of description who works with the cable cars, who salvage their parts from the cable cars equipment,
We need to find a witness too. We don't know if there was one. There just may have been someone that witnessed something, is what we were told.
Oh, you're right. So
Also-
it wasn't somebody who witnessed. It was there might have been somebody who witnessed.
Yeah, we're looking.
If you're looking to sell this, we could also perhaps find out on the other end people who are interested or word on the streets about this transaction potentially going down. Nowhere there.
Yep.
Can I look in the holo where the item was and see if there's anything left behind, anything suspicious about that would show how they broke it out, or if something like a piece of material or something was left behind?
Sure. As you walk back over to the pedestal where from the missing schematic, you see again there was some thick glass that has been broken to open up the interior of it. You can see some scorch marks that presumably were created using this portable burn tool that we've established. Other than that, there's not really anything else that hasn't been uncovered already.
Okay.
Move on, shall we?
I think that would be best, says Sidon with excitement.
Next location?
You all did a great job.
Good job, Sidon.
yeah, if that portable burn tool misfired in the mech hand, could cause some damage too.
True. Okay, are we leaving the vault?
So shall we depart and head to the bazaar?
Okay.
All right, real quick, I'm gonna power down my camera for just a minute so that my laptop calms down. It's overheating a bit.
Sure.
I'll be back though.
Okay.
I'm still here though.
Okay, fair enough. We like this picture anyway.
May I request a short pause?
Oh, sure. You guys want to take a short break?
That would be great.
Okay.
I do have a hard out in about an hour, but that's okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
let's sure how long we're going.
Okay.
That's fine, but I'm in need of a biopause, so I'll be back.
Okay. Well, we'll. I could do this. Use the same. So we'll take a quick 5-minute break or so, and I'll meet you guys back here.
See you.
Cool.
That can be post game.
Yeah, exactly.
That's post-game stuff.
All right. Let's hop back into the episode. So, as you leave the confines of Deep Lock,
Confines.
that's what you charge, right?
Look, you can't say a word that has con in it and no one say anything. You know what I mean?
I didn't consider that.
There you go. I love it.
So, as you enter out into the open air once again, you find that the sun is just starting to set, casting beautiful hues of pinks and oranges and purples across the tropical sky. You can see some of the brass towers, those that are not oxidized, reflect almost a autumn rainbow, mimicking the sky above. Pip looks toward you all. So to the night bazaar then?
I believe
Yes,
so.
Pip, thank you.
So around a scone goes, yeah, that sounds like a good idea because he's eating. Anybody else need a scone?
Oh, she'll just kind of wander over and I would absolutely love one.
I don't think those are very scone-shaped anymore.
Oh no, are they all crushed? Is it gross?
Oh no. They're in a nice carrying compartment in in his under parts.
It's basically like a walking fridge. It's fine.
Exactly. It's like,
What better than a groin mechanical pastry?
Love it.
Those are my favorite.
so
Now, Pip, as you walk, try not to stare at Shan.
As you say this, you catch him staring at Shen. Yeah,
Oh, no.
10 feet, sir. Master,
Yes.
what do I call you?
I could not care less.
Okay, careless.
Sidon doesn't bat an eye. Okay. Okay.
I am so shipping this thruple. It's gonna be beautiful.
You continue on forward following Pip. Through the cobbled coral streets. And back down into the lower canals. As you make your way towards the Sprocket Row Night Bazaar. Eventually reaching the location, you see a dense row of permanent pop-up stalls under a suspended tram line. You can see full individuals, tech scavengers, fortune peddlers, food vendors, all underneath colorful awnings that flap in the breeze. Just as you arrive, you watch as a number of gas lanterns now sputtering into life. You can see tinkers now beginning to load up their wares. Those who have arrived early have already started to haggle over salvaged boilerplates and the likes. You can see a number of children left over run around with slingshot-propelled clockwork mice. It's loud, it's chaotic, it smells of salt and brass and steam. What would you guys like to do?
How close is the bazaar to the Clanks?
I'm assuming this might be something that you ask Pip.
Mhm.
They're not too far from here. Probably 20-minute walk.
And they're expecting that the Clanks is where the thieves are going to try and unload this tablet, correct?
Somewhere within the Clanks is what Professor Knox said.
can I step back slightly? Sorry, but did we notice any cable car tracks or paths when we came out of the vault area?
You did. There was a tram line that runs overhead, and you can see a small depot where individuals are getting lifted by a platform towards the tram itself.
Okay. So I'm just assuming we noted that. So far, it's supporting our...
Upon hearing mention of the clinks, I guess, and mentioning at the Pip, I'll, as an aside, kind of say, if you're looking for accompaniment to the clinks, let me know. I think I'd rather be there than a little market anyway.
Oh, I'm not going to. No, I don't want to go there.
Don't you want to protect Shan? She will have to go.
Oh, if Shan wants to go, then we can go there. Maybe in the daytime where it's light.
But it's so much more interesting.
So much more deadly. Yes.
What's a little danger among friends?
There's no friends in the Clank. But we can go there. No, no.
It's over there.
Yeah, it's if Mrs. Miss Shan wants to go, I can go there. We can go there. I can take you there.
That's
Your
very
courage cannot be
brave of
denied.
you. However, I feel like we should visit the bazaar first.
Oh,
He wants to buy things.
Why? We got to do the job, right, Mistress?
Gotta do the job.
Shan, we got to do the job first. That's you got to be honorable.
Honorable and brave.
A wonderful combination.
Yeah, I didn't know, but I'm careless as squire now too.
Where are
I
we going?
heard. That's so exciting.
Yeah, gonna be no big deal. Sea night one day. No big deal.
You have to survive to become one of those, but maybe one day.
Pip, you can breathe underwater.
That might be a problem.
Right. Yeah. So the night bazaar is pretty. Pretty.
Are we going now?
Which
And
direction
we're at the night
is it?
bazaar.
You guys are
We're
at
at
the night
there,
bazaar. Yeah.
We are there.
You're basically on the
Oh.
outskirts looking into it
Okay.
right now.
Oh, okay. So we're on the edge of it, like we're not in it. Because I was like, ew.
No, you can see all of the happenings within it. You can see the stalls being erected. See what I did there, Con? I said erect. You can see a number of the merchants beginning to peddle their wares, as Skyrim would once say, as well as
Hell yeah.
beginning to stock and bargain amongst one another to see if there's any sellables that they could potentially get discounts on for the evening.
Shan is going to change back into a slightly more reputable outfit, so she looks a little less like a pirate.
Oh,
Little less likely to be stealing things. She also wants to have her waistcoat on in case she does want to steal something.
okay. Fair enough.
People be
I was
going
looking
amongst
for
the
a food
tables,
stand.
talking
Yeah.
earhead stuff with some of the vendors of that type of product, just to get a feel for it, get an idea of their wares, but not
Yeah.
specifically.
So there's, in terms of what you're seeing there, you would assume that this is as close to a black market, a legal black market that you could probably find, along with some of the maybe not so luxurious foods that go along with it. Grilled eels, some just it's kind of like the equivalent of street meat in the area. You can see that there's a lot of parts and salvaged items that are being sold. These are not, high quality magic items. This is truly a night bazaar where it's more like a flea market than it is a proper market.
Do they have food stands?
They do have food tents.
So Ugg is hungry. He's heading straight for, the one that smells the most interesting.
Okay, so you're going smell rather than sight.
Correct.
Okay.
Something good cooking sort of thing.
Yeah, something that's got some good ring to it in terms of spice and smell, and something exotic, if you will.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
That's a 15.
Sorry, I'm just
Yeah.
responding to something quickly. You follow your nose And as you do, you make it to a small tent that has a sign out front that's Gilly's Gilded Gills. Looking at the plethora of food, you can see that there's a plethora of exotic reef fish that hang from polished hooks out the back. You can see steaming vats of what you can only consider a more citrusy type smell, assuming that they utilize some of the tropic fruits as brines for some of their foods. You can see crabs that are all caught in clockwork crab traps, and a chalkboard that reads the today's special Volt Wire Snapper.
Well, that sounds good. I don't know whether anybody's following him. He doesn't care. He's hungry.
You said volt wire snapper?
Correct.
Hey, to a lightning-based dragonborn? That sounds great.
Okay. The two of you make your way over towards the stall, and behind it is a burly individual, very stout. They stand bipedal. However, their fish is that of, their head is that of what you would consider an angler. Where there is no neck, it's just the head attached to the rest of the chest, as well as a small dangling light directly in front of them. As you come up, you can see the spittle now hanging off very fat hanging lips, and a very stained and old apron wrapped around their head and waist. As you begin to approach, they look towards you. Welcome to Gilly's Guild Gills. Are you looking to buy fresh or cooked?
I'm looking for dinner. Cooked.
Cooked dinner?
I'll take both.
I like the cut of your gib. Jib. Is it gib or jib? Huh? Two volt wires coming up. And for you, young lady, I have something special. He turns around to one of the hooks, and you see a large fish that you've never seen before. It's almost circular in overall nature and very plump. Beautiful, colorful sea-watered fish. As he takes it off the hook and slams it down on top of the counter. He then turns back towards a grill that's piping hot in the back as he takes two of the Volt Wire snappers. You see him put a dash of some kind of seasoning on it before wrapping it in a parchment paper, looking to kind of mimic that of a burger wrapping, if you will. As he puts those down on the table as well. In total, that comes to 10 copper pieces.
Hand mine over, and I'll lean over and ask him, do you happen to have any electric eels?
High or low for your benefit?
High.
Just in luck, we had a new shipment come in from down upon the barges earlier today. He reaches back again and pulls two of the electrical eels off of the ice tray that line behind him, and he slams them down on top of the front counter. 2 copper for the piece, for the two.
2, and I'll take the plate, and I'll take one of the eels. Give a little shiver.
That was impressive. I wouldn't have done that. That would have killed most people. What about you, lad? As he looks at the goblin, Ugg. You plan on deep-throating an eel as well?
I try not to do those sorts of things. That's, you know, I'm a little small for that. I believe that eel's almost as big as I am. So, this, I'm assuming that he got the plate of stuff as well, and he's just been eating when watching the other stuff going. This is pretty delicious.
Well, Grandma's recipe. I'll enjoy your time at the bazaar.
So I've got a question for you. Like, I hear there was, where I'm new in town, but I heard there was some excitement the other night with something went missing or something like that. Do you?
I try not get into local gossip. If that's what you're looking for, look for old Mala. She's one of the spice menders, couple rows down from here. And then, of course, you might want to talk to Tico, one of the street urchins around here. She's always around here during the nighttime.
Okay. Sure. But spice? you see his head perk up at the idea of spices. It's like, oh, so where's the spice booth? Because, you know.
He points down. He points down the row a little bit. I would say probably 10 stalls down that way. Old Mala is who you're looking for.
Old Mala. Thank you. Appreciate that. And this is darn delicious. Trying to decide whether he wants another one. I may be back for seconds.
Well, let me know. As he turns back and begins to kind of refill some of the ice display for the eels that have now been removed.
Okay. So I guess
Having
at
grown
this
up-
point, I don't think anybody else came with us.
I hung back. I didn't want to get spice smell on my dress.
You never
So I
want
guess-
to
Having grown up-
spice. I was
Sorry,
just
what was
making
that?
a dumb joke. Go ahead.
He's going to be talking amongst, making small talk amongst some of the vendors in the bazaar, and just using his perception to figure out if there's someone who keep a secret. At which point he'll just ask if they've heard anything about a theft.
So I would
Very,
say, yeah, I would say that you were kind of pointed in the same direction as Ugg and Miranda were. Everybody keeps saying that old Mala is the one to talk to. She's the best gossip in all of the rows, as well as a young teenager, Cora, female, who always seems to be fluttering around the night bazaar.
I mean, I'll make the folks in the vicinity aware of that we may want to talk to some folks who have an idea, might have an idea about what's going on with these press, I guess. Or the
As
So,
we-
so I mean, Ugg comes out of the booth or the tent with, you know, essentially picking his teeth, getting the stuff out, going, you guys find anything? I heard that the biggest gossip in the market is about 10 booths down.
I don't think we
Spike.
should call her a gossip. But yes, let's go
That's
talk.
I
fine.
didn't say we call it to her face, but, you know.
Shan is definitely keeping her eye out for the teenager. Having grown up on the streets herself in a city, she's kind of trying to keep an eye out for the people who look and who see things and hear things, but kind of stay to the shadows.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Okie dokie. That is a 12.
With a 12, as you begin to make your way to to Old Mala's stall, I forgot what word that was for a second. You do take note of a young urchin that looks very similar to Pip, female in comparison, much younger than him, who seems to be off to the side, looking at some of the hover carts that are nearby.
So Shanna's going to make her way over to this person, and we heard the name. Was it Tika?
Tico.
Tico. Okay. And she's going to get down on her level and ask, "So, what are these wonderful-looking contraptions?"
They're not for sale.
What do they do?
A hover cart? You've never seen a hover cart before?
I have no need for a hover cart. I can hover on my own.
What do you mean you can hover on your own?
Would you like to try it?
Does it hurt?
Not a bit.
I've always said to try everything twice, so okay.
Okay, so she is going to tap her on the shoulder, and she is going to use her race trait to cast levitate.
Okay. As you put your hand on Tico's shoulder, it takes a moment to cast the spell. Or I guess it's a race trait, so it's just something that naturally happens. As you stir the winds around her, inhibiting your Genasi heritage, the wind begins to create an updraft directly below her. You watch as her eyes grow wide as she suddenly starts to levitate off the ground. However, doesn't have any level of control over it as she immediately turns horizontally. Ah, put me down, put me down, put me down, put me down.
Easy, easy. I wouldn't drop you.
Put me down!
I'll stop the levitate and she'll drop slowly back to the ground, and I'll try to catch her hand to turn her back the right way.
As you adjust her to be vertical once again, she finally hits the ground. That was amazing.
I will do a big dramatic bow and say, "Shenanigan O'Hannigan, at your service." And what might your name be?
Okay, you're cool. I like you. You're cool. I'm Tico.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Tico.
And to you as well, Shannon and Banana.
You can call me Shan.
Pleasure to meet you as well, Shan. You're not from around these parts, are you?
Not at all. I'm from far, far away from here in a desert city, far from the sea.
Well, if you need a guide or anything to show you around... Hey! They have a guide already! Oh, hey, Pip. You're with Pip?
Pip can fly too. Can't you, Pip? And he's kind of giving like a, I'm gonna throw you in the air if I possibly get the chance.
With consent.
You need to show her. You can't let Shan see you, you know. Cowardly. Alright, you ready?
I guess.
I throw him as high as I possibly can.
Okay, go ahead and make a strength check for me. Actually, make a athletics check for me.
We're ready to catch him. Seeing him grab him.
That's a 10. Not my
Finding
best.
without allowing him to respond, immediately grabbing Pip by his very thin waist, you kind of huck him up into the air a little bit. You hear him call out something like, "Jack, I'm flying," as he goes up a few feet before immediately turning around vertical and slamming down onto the docks below.
I use gust of wind as he's coming down because I do have that. Does it help the impact at all as he's on the way down?
It does a little bit as he calls out, "Ha!" and then stops, and then again, just he hovers for a moment before slamming down into the ground. Not very far. It's only like about less than a foot drop.
Well done, Pip. Well done.
Ignoring you, he looks up at Shan. Ta-da!
I will give him a round of applause and then offer him a hand and say, always finish a performance with a steady bow, and everyone will know that it was intentional.
He takes your hand and gets himself up before giving a bow. You look back over to Tico, whose eyes can't roll back farther. Yep, that's Pip. What brings you to the island?
Oh, we had heard some interesting news the other day. We're looking for something for a professor. And we heard that there was a bit of a kerfuffle here in the square the other night. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you?
You're talking about the robbery.
Keen eyes like yours.
Oh, can you repeat that, Dave?
You're talking about the robbery at the Deep Lock.
Ah, so you do know something.
I might know a little something. You gotta keep your ear to the ground.
Very wise girl.
Well, you didn't hear it from me. But I might have seen something. There was a smaller guy, and I found it kind of weird because they were moving away pretty quickly. But he was riding on the back of something. I couldn't get a really good look at it, but it was metal.
Did it have 4 legs? He looks back over in Ug's direction.
Well,
meanwhile, Ugg just wandered his way up to the see what's going on.
Yeah. Sidon's just looking at you like.
It didn't have 4 legs. It had 4 appendages.
Looks
But
back.
It was really thin. It almost looked like a bird. Long tail.
Ugg, do you have a tail?
Ugg looks behind going, not at the moment.
So you can have a tail.
I have built a tail in the past. I found it was clumsy and got in my way, but
Did it get in your way during a certain heist that was recent?
that was years ago.
And he'll just let it drop. Playing a terrible
I tried-
detective.
Yeah, I tried capes once before too, and I found that they were problematic.
They do inhibit the movement.
They were dramatic, but dangerous.
Yes. Yes.
Old men talk too much. Anyway, I saw it running away from the area of the Deep Lock. Had something hidden, a package or something, underneath his arm. Found it weird.
It's very strange. Do you remember what direction he was heading?
No, I followed him into the market, but he was way too quick. Whatever he was riding on, that... Never seen a mechanical device like that before. At first, I thought it was a creature, but when I saw it starting to glimmer in some of the firelight, it shimmered.
Is there anybody in town who's known for creating such things?
There could be a few. A lot of inventors in this area. Mostly older at this point. Not a lot of inventing to be done recently. Not enough profit in it.
And the man that was on this strange beast, did you have a description for him? You said he was a smaller fellow.
Smaller fellow, yeah. Wore a cloak over his head, so I didn't get really see much of his face. But black cloak, and didn't wear any shoes, which I thought was weird.
What does his feet look like?
Oh, they were big and hairy, and I would assume smelly.
Why would you assume so?
Because most men are smelly.
Perhaps the surface dwellers.
You're probably not wrong there. You don't smell that.
Smell
bad.
me. Come here, come here.
You
No.
don't smell the fish smell on him?
No.
Thank you.
You mentioned there's not a lot of profit in inventing anymore. Has the market shifted lately?
Well, ever since the vent accident, there hasn't been a ton of new business around this area. Most people find the toll a little too dangerous these days. Those that are left that are into the whole inventing, engineering, mechanical-y things, just not enough profit in it.
We wonder how we're supposed to get paid.
Can you tell me about this vent accident?
Yeah. Well, it happened a relatively long time ago. I was really young at the time. And I'll tell you as soon as I find it in my notes.
You have quite the notebook there.
Yeah, I keep notes of everything that happens in the next day or so.
How do you know what happens
Every
in the
cool
future?
person takes notes.
Because I'm amazing like that.
Ugh, I must apologize. I have suspected that you may be a criminal, but you are not. Well, I don't know that you aren't a criminal, but I don't think you are the criminal in question, and I apologize.
Just looks at him and goes, okay.
Personal growth? Question mark?
Sidon is like
Meanwhile-
satisfied with himself right now. He's like, I did that. I'm good.
Meanwhile, Ugg is like, I wonder if he has anything not, kind of loose on his person that might fit in my pocket.
Any food
Yeah,
or
not all criminals.
You're asking me about the Great Vent Collapse. Happened about 5 years ago. I don't know the particulars to it. It's a little too scientific-y for me, but apparently something about geothermal grid ruptures, salvage crews unable to stop it, caused a lot of displacement in the surrounding waves and waters. Apparently, the eruption caused a whole bunch of havoc to push some of the salt water into the air. Really jammed up a lot of the mechanisms. And, engineering type stuff. I don't really understand all of it, but it stopped a lot of the things being built. What do you call it? Manufactured. Stuff
said.
being built. It just stopped working. So they couldn't
Can't
make a
trust it.
lot of things of one thing.
And whose business? Who got a better deal out of this? Who came in to fix this problem after it happened? Who earned money off of this? Do you know? Anybody earned money?
I don't
Any
think
talk in the
anybody.
streets?
I don't think anybody earned any money off it. At least not that I know of. Lots of people lost money. And there's a couple old kooks that want to see the revitalization of this place. But I think its golden age is gone at this point.
So when you say a couple of kooks, do you mean like 2 people, or do you mean like there's quite a few people who still want to have that come back?
I'm sure there's lots of people that want to see it come back, start making good money around here. But I think those that invent are probably the ones that were hurt the most by it.
Were they the ones that had like a factory to do more production than one thing at a time?
I don't really fully understand how it all works, but there was a couple people who, for the most part, were responsible for a lot of the mechanism thingies that happen in some of the bigger places that made all of the stuff. Without their inventions working anymore and not being able to make any new inventions for it, I think they were the ones who got hit the hardest because no one's buying their inventions anymore.
Do you remember their names and who they are?
Yeah, there's a couple of them. There's Kalisa Thornwhip. Is it Thornwhip or Thornwind? One of those ones. Then there's the guy who went nuts. What was his name again? What was his name again? What was his name again?
It's not Valen, is it?
Hang on. There was Kalisa Thornwhip, but I think she might have left. High Artificer Selena Vance, but she's more in the Cog Cathedral, so I don't think she really had too hard of a time. There was another guy, pretty much lost his mind. How can I not find this guy's name? This is driving me insane. Sorry.
Seems fitting.
I'm gonna need a refund.
Oh, a guy that went nuts and is driving Dave insane.
As long as it wasn't Knox Valen, that's what.
Yeah, it was, I just realized I
Harold the
missed
Halfling.
Yeah, I was going to ask her if
There
she's
was Dr.
knows what happened.
There was Dr. Felix Wren, but he kind of went crazy and ended up in the Clockspire Asylum. And then
Does he have any, does any of them have any mechanical body parts?
Not that I know of. They all had gadgets that hung off of them. And who was the other guy that you said?
Oh, Dylan.
Okay.
Professor Valen, yeah.
Never heard of him.
Insight check.
Go ahead and make an insight check.
Hell yeah. I've been waiting all session. 22! Finally a good roll. Natural 19.
22. She has no idea who you're talking about.
She's telling the truth. He says, not under his breath, under his breath.
Who was the fourth person you were going to mention?
No, there was just the three.
Just the three? That
Jacob,
guy that went crazy, what did he look like?
Older guy, really wiry, somewhat tall.
Pico, you ever
What
met
did
a
the other...
halfling?
Yeah, what did the other two look like?
Well, Salen was of high stature, probably still is. She's part of the Cogsworth Cathedral. It's kind of a weird thing. It's almost religion-y. I don't really like it that much. In pretty high esteem, though. I don't think she would have cared as much to lose money. She looked at invention more like a faith than a job.
That one you said left town, what did she look like?
Thornwhip?
Yeah.
She kind of looked similar to you. Kind of scaly, had a tail, really bulky. But those are the only real inventors on the island that I know of.
Max Valen, what did he look like? Was he also kind of wiry, would one say?
Who?
Oh, sorry,
That was
Doctor.
Above the
I was-
table
yeah.
question.
Yeah, out of character. When she mentioned what Dr. Felix Wren looked like, would that remind me of what the professor looks like?
Not at all.
Okay, cool.
What did the crazy doctor's feet look like? How were they shaped?
Normal feet. I don't know, he wore shoes.
Were they big shoes?
This is great.
I'm
I mean,
thinking
big is
even if he did hire somebody.
big is pretty subjective, but
Yeah, you tell him.
for a tall, wiry guy, I don't know. I guess they were big.
No, the guy we're looking for is kind of short, though.
Oh, are you talking about the
So-
guy who was on the back of that thing?
Yep. I think
Yeah,
that's what she's talking.
that's definitely not him. Like I said, he's been locked up in the asylum as far as I know.
Okay.
And if you were to have something that you wanted to trade for a lot of money, so if you were looking to maybe sell something on the black market, where would you stay until a time to sell it in town? Where would be the best place to say hide out, keep out of trouble?
Well, I know most of the more shady dealings happen in the Rusted Chalice, but I don't know if I would stay there. You'll just as quick get a knife in your back if you're asleep.
What happened to the ventilation system when the accident happened? Is it still in use for anything, or is it just sitting around empty?
Well, I don't know much, but it's not... The way that someone told me was, it's like this hole underwater that shoots air out of it. And it shot a lot of air out when it wasn't supposed to. And all this salt and sulfur came out. Something about a volcano or...
Maybe referring to sulfur, I'm guessing.
That's the word! It shot out of these holes underwater, and it spewed all this gunk up into the air. And all of it, where it was... There wasn't a bunch of salt in the air, then there was a lot of salt in the air, and that sulfur stuff, and it gunked up all the machines, and made all the gears not work right, and then everything just stopped working proper.
Has
I'm
Sidon
not
ever heard of anything
explaining
like
it
this?
right.
Or, like in the sea, has he heard of?
You would have definitely heard about underwater vents. So this is very typical in tropical areas where there is volcanic activity. And knowing the seas, you would know that a tropical place like this would have an enormous amount of volcanic activity, whether above ground or underground. You would know what kind of disruption one of those vents could potentially cause, just in the natural world. In a somewhere that relies heavily on mechanics, if that vent was not managed properly, that would devastate it.
Gotcha. Then Sidon will say, I've heard of vents, I've seen them myself, but something of this magnitude, for a city such as this, is likely that we are all in imminent danger.
You say it could happen again?
I suppose if it happened once, it could happen again.
Good to know.
Best to focus on the now.
Yeah.
You said the rusted chalice might be a place where perhaps someone hired to steal something might try and resell it instead of bringing it to their original buyer.
Oh yeah, that's the... Guards would never go there. That area of the Clank is very dangerous.
Isn't that why they should go there? To make it safe?
You're
He
not
says with
from
his lofty
around
paladin
here.
ideas. Yeah. I suppose not. We do things differently where I'm from.
Do you know of Old Mall? I'm assuming you know the area. I'm assuming you know who she
Mala?
is.
Everybody knows Old Mala.
Mom? Do you have any opinion of her?
She's
Anything to
crazy
expect from her? Okay.
and very... What's the opposite of tight-lipped?
Ah, okay.
Generous with her
Yes.
words.
Generous with her words. That's a good way of putting it.
Alright.
Or loose-lipped.
That one, yeah.
I don't know, guys.
This is
I
everyone.
kind of want to go to the rusted chalice. That seems like a really good hint versus old Mala, who might be very
We get-
talkative, but I don't know if the info is going to be as good.
Well, old
I don't
Mala
know if
was
she would-
around when the vent happened, though.
That's true,
She was
yeah.
arranged to actually have been there.
We-
And it sounds like
Yeah.
Old Mala is closer right now to where we are than the rusted chalice.
True.
She's like four stalls away.
From a
That's
practical
the
standpoint,
emperor.
Yeah, that's
If
it. She's
you
like
wanna do
20 yards away from
anything-
me right now.
Yeah. So
Pip, do you know where the rusted chalice is?
Yep.
Can you get us there if we needed to go?
Nope. I mean, yep.
Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna go with the last one. Alright. So now we have a guide that can take us there. but I think we should probably talk to Mala first.
Well, Tico, you have been a wonderful help. And I'm going to draw one of my cards from inside my coat, a playing card, and give it to her and tell her, hold on to this for me, just in case we need to find you again.
Okay. Is this like a calling card or a signature of yours, or?
It's a bit of both,
I mean, this is great and all, but what would be really helpful is coin if you have any.
I will also pull a gold coin and be like, and you don't have to hang on to this. And go ahead and give Tico a gold coin. And we were never here.
Her eyes light up at the sight of a gold one. I've never had a gold one before. She immediately holds it to her chest and begins looking around and making sure that no one else saw it.
Are you sure it's just one? And I'm going to do like a magic trick, and she's going to have another, I will give her another gold coin.
She just snatches it out of your hand. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I suppose I could contribute. He takes all the gold because he doesn't care about the gold at all. He just gives her, I think he probably would have like 20 starting gold. I'm going to give it all to her. Not even recognizing how important that could be.
As she takes the pouch in your hand and just kind of looks into it, her eyes grow wide all of a sudden. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Of course.
If you need me, I'll find you. And she immediately tucks the coin purse into her vest and starts looking around. You can tell she's about to take off from the area that she's in right now. Probably best for her not to be here with the amount of money you just gave her.
Well, I tried to do a nice thing, but I do have to go and DM now, so I have to step out. So, friends, see ya. Dave, thank you as always for the game, brother.
Cheers, brother. We'll
I'll see you next time. All right, have fun.
Sounds good. Take care, guys.
Bali, I'll be looking for notes after this on everything I missed. Okay,
I got
awesome.
notes.
All right, see y'all.
Okay, so I'm assuming that we're going to be moving on towards Old Mala as a group. So, but Ugg actually wants to hang back and talk a little bit more with Tika, just because the hoverboards are interesting. So he's like,
Hover carts?
or hover carts. Just wants to ask about the hover carts that are not for sale. But it's like he's being legless. He's interested in what it is and where she got them and how they work.
Sure. I'll give the little bit of exposition behind that just to move it along. So hover carts are steam powered like the rest of things here. You can see from underneath it those that are activated right now spit steam towards the ground, which causes them to hover slightly off of the ground. Not far, probably maybe a foot max from them. But from what you gather from Tico, they're pretty common in areas like this. They're mostly used for moving large cargo ship or cargo boxes and other goods for easier transportation. There's not a lot that you can see that gets wheeled around here. As you look around, you can see a number of hover carts, similar to you'd see shopping carts in a parking lot.
Perfect. He's looking at it but trying to figure out how they work, and that's good enough.
Sure. Roll a D100 for me.
A D100. Let's do it this way. They're handy. $47.
You understand about how 47% of them work at this point in time. With a little bit more tinkering and testing, you could probably raise that.
Okay. So at this point, he says, thanks. And And visibly, so that the people can see, he gives her a copper that people can see, and there's also one more gold one with it. But that's hidden.
Okay. Cool. Okay, you guys continue to make your way through the marketplace and eventually happen upon a vendor with a sign out front that is actually called Old Spices. You can see a strange old woman, the equivalent of what you would consider a cat lady, behind the stall itself. Her hair is very frazzled. You can see one eye that is a little bit tightly closed in comparison to the other. Teeth very gnarled at this point. Looks like an older lady who hasn't had much luck in the years. And hygiene has been a secondary in her thought process.
Approach her.
Okay. Kate, as you begin to approach, she immediately eyes you. Well, aren't you a handsome one?
I said elf was going to approach her. But yeah, why thank you. I'm flattered, my lady.
Oh, I flatten you real good.
Well, I'm gonna grip my cloak a little tighter.
No, loosen it up.
You're quite the charmer there. You wouldn't happen to be Ala, would you?
Depends on who's asking, but yeah.
Well, your reputation precedes you.
Oh, you heard about my cherry tie trick.
Heard about it. I haven't seen it though.
Why don't you meet me at the Rusted Chalice later? I'll show you how it's done.
We might have.
I'm sure he'd love to.
Oh, is this your girlfriend here?
Not at all. Just a friend.
I don't mind another.
We're good associates, close associates, I would say. Not technically a girlfriend, although I wish she had said she
friends
was.
with benefits, I get it. I used to do that back in my teen days.
Well, might be heading to the Chalice later. Absolutely. Actually, geez, son of a gun, we heard you know some things that go on around here, though.
I know lots of things that are going on around
I
here.
heard of some stuff going down around the vault. To keep it quiet, right?
I see where you're going with this. You like to keep secrets, huh?
Loose lips sink ships.
I never seen loose lips sink ships before, but I'd love to see that.
Yeah. So, why are you heading to the Chalice this evening? You normally show up there for socializing, perhaps? I hear it's pretty dangerous.
Proper. I'm looking to get my toe up from the flow up, you know? See if I can't get myself a little bit more horizontal.
Yeah, that's where I hear some people go there.
Is that what you're doing
Gotcha.
with your friend? You going to rent a room, as they say?
I mean, stranger things have happened, I guess. But
I'd like to see that.
we're actually kind of heading there on business. Got a few of the associates with me.
Ah. I heard about your kind before.
No, the word polycule is definitely not coming up. No, that's not the type of associates. Yeah.
Okay. Whatever you say. Like you said, secrets.
And do you have any good secrets to share?
Well, that depends on what you're looking for.
Well, I might be looking for something a bit different than my friend Cade here, and I'm going to give him a good pat on the back.
I like you.
We had heard that there was a bit of a kerfuffle coming through this town the other night, that somebody was running, perhaps from the law, with something. You wouldn't have happened to have heard about that.
Well, there's lots of people running from the law in this place. How much is it worth to you?
I am definitely not bankrolling this. I'm going to kind of cast a look around at people to see if anybody...
All right. I'll pick up what you're throwing down. And,
you have a pouch in your hand, like behind your back now. I'm gonna attempt to make it clear. I'm gonna make it to deceive anyone watching that maybe I wasn't the one who handed you any pouch with gold coin.
Oh, are you saying that Mala has a coin purse?
What's that? No, I'm saying that Shan has a coin purse in her hand.
Okay.
That I've
We might be able to work something out for you. What kind of information are you going to offer us, though? And I'm going to kind of shake the coin purse, but we're not going to open it or anything, just so she can hear the sound.
I love it when people shake their coin purse in front of me. Well, I can tell you this. The other night, probably about 3 nights ago, roughly, there was a bit of a commotion. Strange fella with a mechanical beast beside him. I never seen one in real life before, per se, but someone built it. Y'all ever heard of them dinosaurs before? I know it sounds crazy. Well, he had one of those ones. It kind of looked like a bird. And it had really, really sharp legs. Well, feet. Well, toes, I guess you would call it. Anyway, he was heading through the market like a lightning bolt. He was moving so damn fast.
What did he look like?
He was a smaller fellow. Wore a black cloak. Had normal...
He had bare feet by any chance?
Yeah, he did. I noticed it when he jumped off that creature-y thing.
Kind of weird.
Yeah. We're close enough to the beach that I'm sure most people didn't mind it whatsoever. What I found the most interesting, and I think no one else caught on to, was the package that he had under his arm. Anyway, he zipped right by here, right over to that depot over there, and she points over to the depot that heads towards the tram line. Immediately took the lift up and hopped onto the nearest brass car. Now, I don't know where he was going that late at night. Strangely enough, he was headed in the way of the brass graveyard.
That's where the tram line goes?
That's where the tram line ends.
That is.
Bet you it was his mechanical bird that hit that column then.
It's beginning to make sense.
Who in the what now column?
Nothing.
Nothing, just mumbling.
And you
do
say he
that.
jumped off the mechanical bird. Now, did he and the bird split ways, or did they go together onto the tram line?
No, he jumped off for a minute so he could hit the button proper on the lift to take him up.
Okay.
That thing was attached to his hip. Followed him everywhere he went.
Literally attached?
No. It's a figure of speech, dear.
What can you tell
Lady
us about
Mala,
the brass graveyard?
Well, that's where all the brass cars go to die. It's the end of the line. When a brass car breaks down and it can't work on the tram lines anymore, they end up in the brass graveyard.
So a place
That
where
would
some
explain.
parts.
Yeah, that would explain the parts.
Some rip it down
Or
for
a
parts,
place-
yeah. There's always crews working around there trying to harvest them for whatever's left over, put them in the other ones.
Which his mechanical bird may be made out of.
Could be. There was a lot of brass there.
Right.
Lady Mala, you're familiar with the other vendors in this bazaar here?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anybody that maybe would make purchases of high-end items?
Ain't much in the way of high-end product. Is that what you said? Merchandise? You talk to...
Anybody that sells or purchases expensive items?
No one really selling anything expensive down here.
Are they buying anything expensive down here?
Could be. There's a couple stalls in and around the area that not advertise certain objects and things. If you catch my meaning. Not something that they want to advertise to the rest, that they have possession of.
I don't suppose you would point them out to us? Or just names? Can I say specifically, I'm looking for, I have not had a connection with my family in many years, but they were merchants. So I'm looking for something that maybe like I would be familiar with. I might know a name of like them or a rival or something like that, where I might be able to have a little bit more sway or try to find out who the fence is.
Given that, and I would have to go back and take a look at your backstory, but I don't think you are from the Netherlands, are you?
I was originally from the Netherlands, but probably not this part. I don't think that I have like a lot of familiarity with a lot of like the tech stuff.
So, there may be a few vendors, but Old Mala, the way she's insinuating is that there are deals that happen down here, but not necessarily ones that are open to the public. It's not like it's they sell things that they would advertise to the average person, kind of going back and forth. You could potentially try and talk to an individual about that sort of thing, but realistically, they may or may not give you their time.
Okay.
But from what she's describing, everyone kind of partakes a little bit in it. There's not a specific merchant that it's like, hey, go to this person for this one thing. It's a matter of side deals happen, and that's part of the point of the Night Bazaar.
Okay.
Out of character, do you guys think we should go to the brass graveyard and talk to the crews there and maybe see if there are any little guys with no shoes?
I wonder if that'd be better to do after the rest of
Three
Chalice.
chances. Yeah, either try and find one of these shady dealers in the marketplace, go directly to the bar where the stuff happens, or else go to the graveyard.
From what
See
Dave
the
said,
other choice?
I don't think we'll get much from the dealers here. You could try it, but sounds like the better options are the other two.
If we go to the graveyard first, we might have a better idea of who we're looking for at the brass chalice.
It's true.
The brass
we
chalice,
could-
the brass graveyard.
I think
if
if we go
there's
to the
no
brass
actual chalice-
graveyard, we might find out where he's hiding out. We might find his little hidey hole.
That's what
Did the
I'm thinking.
professor
Yeah.
say what what timeline are we're trying to get this back before the sale happens? Do we know when that sale is
worried
going to
about.
happen?
Nope, not
That's
yet.
what I'm worried about. We might miss that if we go to their graveyard.
Well, I mean,
I think-
could we
I think
realistic?
if there's a
Actually, it's
sale-
realistically, it's night now. I mean, we could put it up if, yeah, I mean, as much as I hate to say that, makes me
You're
expecting
shopping.
great possibility.
You're gonna split the party on me in the middle of a two-shot? God damn it, Powers!
Exactly.
I thought about it, and I
That's-
did. Yeah, we should. Let's be kind.
Well,
Like, can we
so,
have Pip or something tell us, or like cover us on one way or the
Pip.
other?
There's two options that you've learned about.
so, I'm gonna say if the deal is going to happen at the Rusted Chalice, from what I've gathered, it would most likely be to happen at night because that's when the place would have cover.
We are at the Night Bazaar.
At night,
so.
we're probably better to go there rather than trying to search the brass graveyard in the dark, not knowing what we're looking for. If the person doesn't show up and if we don't see a halfling trying to sell something, then essentially we might waste the night. But we're not going to risk. If the deal is tonight, they're not going to be in the graveyard. We're not going to find them. First priority is to stop the deal. Second priority is to then recover what it is. If it transfers hands tonight, we've pretty much missed our best chance. So I would vote for the Rusted Chalice at this point, and whatnot.
That's what Reggie would be
Okay,
thinking.
okay. Yeah.
Distance-wise, I'm guessing that the brass graveyard is at the end of the line, which would put it probably farther away.
You would have to take a rail car to get
Okay.
there.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go to the chalice first.
Okay.
Great.
I think that makes sense.
Reed, that's assuming that's where we'll start our next session. I could be wrong. We can go and scope it out now if we've got more time.
Or we go
Party
in
over.
parties of 2 and we split.
Yeah.
Everyone goes in each direction. Yeah.
I do
Add
this
value.
stuff to myself. Up to you guys what you want to do.
So
Those were
if-
good arguments. I have changed my answer.
Yeah.
I think going to the chalice is a good idea.
I think that's
Yeah.
sensible. Makes good sense.
Yeah, we'll see if there's any word that's been put out, maybe about some sort of something being offered or some sort of deal that's going down.
Okay.
And
Anything
we
else
leave
you want
Mala.
to? Anything you want to ask
Yep.
Mala before you go?
well,
She
part of
said
this
she was
was
going to
buy
be there.
something.
I'd like to ask her about our benefactor, whom Tico has never heard of.
Okay. What would you like to ask?
I would just have to say, like, oh, and before we go, I've been in conversation with a lovely young gentleman, of a professor named Knox Valen. Have you happened to hear anything of his character?
Knox Valen. Must be new in town. Never heard that name before.
He has a business. Oh, I forgot to write down the business name. Something and suppers, sundries and suppers.
Allen and Associates.
Listen, darling, I've lived here my entire life. Never heard of the business you're talking about.
To describe him and ask her if she knows somebody of that description.
Do I still have the wax seal that we were given? Like, I would still have my telegram with the wax seal.
I think.
Could I show her?
I think it was the wax seal was given to Beryl.
Yeah, and Beryl does have it full. Like it is still intact. Yeah, if you ask about it, I can bring it out.
Could I? Yeah, I would be like, Beryl. Did you happen to have that seal? It was a gear with an eye in it. Maybe she's seen that before.
Oh, excellent idea. And yeah, I'd pull it out of my purse and show it to her.
As soon as she sees the sigil, she gets a concerned look on her face. I don't know about this Knox person, but I've seen this symbol before. And this ain't not something you want to be playing with.
May I ask where you've seen this before?
Long time ago, there was a gentleman who came to the island looking for new ways to earn. Now, I know some dishonest folks in this marketplace. But this one, downright evil, would do anything to make a buck or two. He was a smart feller, but he was cold and calculated. Charm the pants right off you, but the minute you turn your back on them, well, ain't much left of you after that.
What did he look like?
Back then, going back quite a few years at this point, he was proper. Always wore himself up. You know what I mean? Even slumming around with us, made sure he was dressed proper. Always had one of them smart tongues on him. Using big words and big syllables. But
What did he go by?
where did he go by? He went by a lot of places. He hung out down here to make some of his deals. And he wore an insignia. Little button on his coat. Exact same as that symbol. But as far as I'm concerned, he left the island long time ago.
What name was he using?
definitely wasn't Knox. What was his name? Started with a J, John. James. James was his name.
You just remember James?
James something. Oh, right. His name was James Moriarty. And I think that's where we're going to end the session for today.
That's the most trustworthy name I've ever heard, Moriarty. Like, yeah.